by Peter Thiel, right? This is the leader of Palantir. And so Thiel essentially hired him early on in the early 2010s on his own venture capital firm and then funded Vance's venture capital firm as well. So essentially, Super Kush gets him connected with Trump and then essentially is the leading factor in why, because he's an early donator to Trump, right? From back in 2016, Thiel was donating to Trump.
He
And
also
he,
he
so he's
also
just,
made
go ahead.
the single largest Senate contribution ever. It was like $10 million to Vance.
Exactly. So Vance is just he's basically Thiel, right? So and this is the VP next in line, right? And so if you want to know if Palantir's making decisions, look at their program Gotham. Look at it like Gotham and Dark Knight, right? And so Gotham, this program Palantir has, you just grok it or Google it. It's essentially literally one of the quotes when you grok it is that it's making its modern global decision making, right? So you're literally inputting all this data, structured, unstructured, AI data capture. And we know how many smartphones, smart this, smart TV, smart thermometer, all this data capture, and it's helping make the decisions globally. So who's really running the global decision making? Who's really running? And this is counterintelligence. This is, it could be who's deciding and when we're deciding to go to war. So I don't like this whole Peter Thiel and this Palantir capture because they're using it's almost like where they're doing predictive crime. They're trying to see the future and see who's going to commit a crime next and where they need to take out next. This is an
Yeah,
offensive war,
called pre-crime. Yeah.
pre-crime. Thank you, Dave. So very concerning. Good point, Dylan.
But I have a question for you. Don't you think it's over for JD Vance? Don't you think, with all due respect for people who say inside baseball politics is interesting? No, it's not. I mean, this is really more like the Game of Thrones where the White Walkers have come and all of the rest of us, including people on the left and right, we look very remarkably similar to each other. So I don't think JD Vance and I don't think any of these people have a chance anymore. It has to be someone
I
that comes along and says this is an insane giant club, and they have to be someone who's been really hard on the Epstein thing. I mean, seriously, it just can't be any of these people, don't you think?
you have to remember Trump still has 3 years left, and they want to impeach him. And using both the Epstein files and the Iran war, they might do it. If the Republicans take a hit in the Senate, which a lot of people think that that's really really unlikely, and I agree, it's really really unlikely we're going to see a swing in the Senate. Definitely in the House, though, we're going to get. I think we're going to see a bloodbath.
But I don't see,
Uh,
I don't see them impeaching him because the giant club syndrome. I mean, if all of these people are making humiliation rituals to the country that called and he, of course, beckoned. I mean, come on. I mean,
But
are
my
they going to?
point is, it just depends on how bad they want Vance in, right? If the establishment and the IC wants Vance in that bad, they'll do whatever it takes. If you ask me.
And if your question, David, is will they be able to build up the facade that Vance has enough support for the people to make people buy that he actually won? I think the answer is sadly yes. I mean, we've seen people, essentially get put into place like Kamala or maybe others, not to offend anybody who may like her, but that it just didn't make sense. Even Biden, when he was running, had a very, very low percentage, and comparatively speaking to his other candidates in that race. But let me just say this. I think that the worst part about it is people have this goldfish memory. It's one disaster after the other, it's one trauma after the other, and the media is totally complicit in essentially traumatizing people, which causes, to an extent, psychologically speaking, amnesia. So, could you forget about the Epstein files if we started an Iran war? Who forgets and who doesn't? I think this is something that social engineers look at and try to perfect this essential. I think what it is, in my opinion, is it's a design, amnesia by design, this huge trauma from the Epstein file dump, and partly what you could potentially see from this UFO Disclosure Act. People are getting this whole reversalism, psychological disassociation, right? This whole ontological shock. And there is psychological warfare value to all of this. And showing you these bombs and showing you, we're living in the age of information and the social media era. We never had these vivid depictions. Now everybody has a camera phone that's way advanced compared to what happened decades ago. And we're getting this close-up view of these traumas, and we're forgetting about, just a few months ago what happened and how all this ties in. So people can't connect the dots. And I think that's why it's important, guys, share the space, subscribe, and literally become a subscriber of Diligent. Hit the notification bells. There's so many amazing speakers up here. So hit it all, and everybody follow everybody here, because a lot of people want to get caught in the minutia of these wars. And I think that's the problem. I love the broad title, and that's why I think Dilly is quintessential in this information war.
Yeah, I will say that I disagree in this way. The Great Awakening is happening.
Maine, you got to dominate Dave, bro. You can't be a Democrat
Yeah.
with David. You have
No,
to. You
you
have to
good. No,
assert
you
I
good.
yourself.
honestly don't think it's left
Okay, he's
versus
not
right
gonna let you
anymore.
get in there.
That,
That's
I'm
all
just
but
good.
kidding. That's just a poke. I'm just
I
jabbing.
actually followed him.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
I will say I think the
I
Great
like Maine.
Awakening I think the Great Awakening is happening, and I absolutely, the truth spoken a lie spoken 1,000 times can be destroyed by the truth spoken but once. And the censorship industrial complex is failing. You cannot dam up 3/4 of the river. When you fail at censorship, and let us remind everybody in the room, the censors throughout history have always been on the wrong side of history. They never want to stop the Flat Earth Society. They never want to stop people for saying things that are palpably false. No, it's the truth that scares the hell out of them, and the truth is winning. They have the money, they have the military, they have the media, but they are liars. They are lying liars with their lying lie holes. Everybody knows it. And human solidarity, left, right, black, white, is way on the rise. We no longer think, and the Epstein issue really brought us together on this, that it's right versus left, because it's right versus wrong.
All right. So, a couple of things. One, Democrats aren't going to impeach Trump. Let me be perfectly clear, and I'm going to tell you why. There's no need to. Right? He's not a threat anymore to the Democratic Party. Right? His approval ratings are in the tank. His war is incredibly unpopular. The economy is weak already. War's not really going to help the economy either, especially with oil prices going up. Every $10 that oil goes up on the markets, it's typically a 200 basis point increase to inflation. It's about 2 to 3%. So stay tuned to that. But no, I don't believe there's going to be any impeachment for two reasons. One, he's an asset to the Democratic Party's message right now, and two, we don't want JD Vance anywhere near there. So and then the idea that Democrats aren't going to take the Senate, while it is still an underdog scenario, it is most certainly increased probability in the last 6 months. If you would have asked me 6, 7 months ago, I would have laughed at you. But the path for the Democrats to win the Senate is clear as day. Let me do a little electoral math for you here. For the Democrats to do that, they have to hold the seats that they already have. Okay, they can't lose any of their seats that they already have, and if they do, they can pick up some others to balance it out. But for the sake of the argument, let's say they hold all the seats that are up right now. They have to flip these three first. North Carolina, which is a foregone conclusion. Most Republicans will tell you the same thing, that Cooper's going to win that race by about 8 to 9 points. Alaska, where Patola is, very interesting there. And my state of Maine, whether it's Mills or Plattner, and it'll be Plattner. Um, Flip those three. And then if you do that, all you got to do is win one more. That's it. And there are four that we're looking at right now, and that may grow depending on what happens to the president's numbers. But there are four we're looking at where we only need to win one: Texas, Iowa, Ohio, and Nebraska. Okay. All we got to do is win one of those, flip the three I mentioned, and hold the ones they have. And Democrats have the Senate. If that deviates from that, that's fine too. But that's the path right now.
What
And that would
happens
make it
in
51. That would make it 51-49, by the way.
what happens in the interim? Is there an interim between Mullins
He can name
and
somebody. He can name somebody, yeah. But
yeah, that's what I thought.
that's the federal vacancy law, right? So it can't be a sitting senator. He can name somebody from the federal executive branch if he wants to, but it can't be a sitting member of
I thought the
Congress.
governor named the
Well, we're talking about at DHS. At
Oh, I see.
DHS, right? Yeah. The Senate, I mentioned that earlier. I don't know if you were in here, David. Oklahoma, each state, you can't have. It's not like Congress. Congress, if somebody resigns from the House, there's automatically a special election. When it comes to the Senate, it's up to the state constitution. So most of them appoint to fill out a term. Oklahoma is very strange. They actually appoint for 30 days. And within that 30 days, they have to schedule a primary if there's going to be one. There's a qualifying period for people that want to file to run. Then there's a primary within 20 or 30 days. And then there is an election after that, a runoff in between if there needs to be. Then there's an election at that. Now, what's interesting is there's also a little clause here where if it's too close to the election that's already scheduled, meaning the November elections, then there is no special election and it'll remain vacant. Okay, which is interesting. And then on your point about temporary and interim, um, yeah, so it can't be Mullen. That's why Mullen has to go through confirmation. Now, if Mullen resigns tomorrow, right? He can be appointed interim, and then just sit there. I forget what the max is. I think it's 30 or 60 days. I can't remember off the top
Like
of my head.
60 days.
Yeah, and then he has to go in. But we'll see where that goes. But I hope that clarifies just a little bit.
Mays, what do you think about the new DHS taking $500,000 from APAC? You think they're going to be that the DHS is going to be knocking on your door for all of your anti-Semitic statements soon?
I, I hope not, but I'll just say that, I haven't really looked into. I saw the notifications for it. I'm still catching up with today's news. I see that Christy Nome. I'm actually more interested in the what she's going to be joining to see. It seems like there's some sort of like
She's going to be a special
hemispheric.
advisor.
It's not a real thing.
What's this
It's like
hemispheric?
a Stephen Miller position. It's whatever they say they're going to task them to do, right? Like Stephen Miller is working with like JD Vance and a couple other people to someone. Oh,
It's not a real thing.
thank you over there on YouTube. They found that video I was talking about. Thank you. Um, yeah, it's a made up position.
Yeah, it's not a real thing, right? I thought Moskowitz had the funniest thing where he said it was just something they found in an Avengers movie that I found. While you're talking about APAC, which is fine, and I know it's always a sexy topic, look into.
I never talk about APAC,
Oh no, I'm
bro.
not saying you. I'm not saying you. It's the collective. It's always a sexy topic on online or the Twitter or anywhere else. If you really want to look into Mullen, Mullen sits on armed services in the Senate. Look at his stock trades with defense contractors around, oh, I don't know, when we went into Venezuela and what they've been up to in the last couple of weeks. That's already starting to leak out. These are people that sit on committees and they do insider trading with the industries they're supposed to be regulating. And this guy is no different than Pelosi or any of these other people that have enriched themselves in seats of power. Now he's going to DHS and he'll be in control of one of the largest budgets now in the federal government. Just a thought. And if you listen to Nome in her hearing the other day, I forget which congressman it was. It may have actually been one of the senators, a Republican, that was giving her shit about Lewandowski, who was a special government employee, which has a time limit, which they totally ignored. And they asked her specifically if he has any decision making power on federal contracts at DHS. And the answer, she didn't answer the question. And then the senator was like, "So he does, right?" And that was the end of the minutes there. So take a look at Mullen. I give him a lot of shit for being a dolt, which he is, and not being
Isn't he the
qualified for the
one that
job.
like tries to fight people in the chambers all the time in
Yeah, he
committee?
he tried to fight one of the union heads. The guy's got a super junior what do you call it, human cockfighting, cage fighting record or whatever. But listen, like what I like about Mullen is he's what's that old movie, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington? That's who Mullen is, right? He hosted a fucking home improvement show in Oklahoma, right? He's Ted the Tool Man in Oklahoma, right? Like didn't go to college, inherited his dad's plumbing business, sold the business, made a shitload of money from selling it to a national conglomerate, invested the money, and rode the wave, right? This is it's not new, and that's fine. But he wants to be in the Senate, but the guy's got no credentials to be the head of DHS in the middle of a time where we are now under threat. from retaliatory terror cells, which we've already seen in Austin, Texas. So not great, but look at
Sounds like
his financials.
sounds like a certain model actress I know taking over one of the largest political activism organizations in the country after her husband was assassinated strangely right before the Iran war. Just no qualifications, but just got the job. I don't know. It's little weird, a little weird. Just throwing that out there. Not gonna say any names. Go go ahead, Coyote.
I just
Oh,
want
and
to see.
people keep saying I'm watching on the YouTube chat. Welcome everybody. Thank you, Ian Carroll, for shouting me out. Getting a whole bunch of people on YouTube coming over. Probably gonna be doing a collab with him soon. All right, go ahead. Sorry, Coyote.
That's good. Appreciate it. And congratulations on your success. Hopefully, it's long lived.
No
Question with
success, bro.
well, it is, and you should be proud when somebody says
Just
that,
I was
unless it's
just
a
saying
childhood.
I was just shouting them back out. That's all.
Yeah, but it's still you're embrace it or
Go,
whatever.
He
okay,
Unless
get
it,
to
sucks
it.
at compliments. Just go ahead, Coyote. What you got? He sucks at compliments.
we'll talk smack about them later, Maze. No, honestly, Maine. I was trying to see what you thought on this whole because it's very weird. They just prayed in the White House. And I didn't like Nick sort of put I said, what's because Trump's not very religious and all this other stuff going on. This is a lot and this is a problem because this goes to that establishment clause, but also they're making poor decisions and they're basically subverting the people. I talked to my mother again today. She said they're all killing the Christians over there in Iran. Still seeing because they're watching Fox News and Trump praying and stuff like that, and they think he's probably religious and stuff. This is not good long term. Britain did this in the 1841 all the way up, and that's kind of what got them into. I figured you would know, a little on this. Is it concerning to you a little bit? This push, this weird push or whatever.
I mean,
No,
there is a well I'll speak to it first. There is this fake kind of evangelical crusade happening right now where every time they do something funky in the government they start invoking God's name and Jesus's name, and it seems very very sacrosanct and very very sacrilegious and blasphemous if you ask me, because it doesn't come off as sincere at all, and it's usually done when they are up to no good. So yeah, it does. It is troubling. However, uh, historically, if you haven't watched before, Ash Wednesday, they all walk around with the charcoal on their foreheads. The Biden administration. The first time I even knew what that was, I didn't even know what that was, and I saw what's her name, um, the former House leadership,
Nancy
Nancy
Pelosi.
Pelosi. She was walking around with it on her forehead, and I was like, why do they all have this black stuff on their foreheads? And it was Ash Wednesday. So there is a long tradition of people who are in the administration or in Congress exercising. They still have their First Amendment rights. So if they want to pray in the White House, they can. What they can't do, okay, is tell you that you have to pray along with
Well,
them.
this is
That's
different.
when you get into the establishment
This is
clause.
way different. This is a
Yeah, this is
idea.
different. What Coyote's talking about, they're really sort of trying to, I think, evoke something in relationship to Islam and the idea of making this some seems like some kind of crusade or holy war, because it's very, very sinister when you engage in a war with people of an entirely different religion, and then all of a sudden you start invoking your religion because we're not falling for it anymore. I have never seen such a dissonance between Americans of all Americans and the administration. We're all like, whatever you're doing, you're like a magician who's doing a trick that we all know. It's pathetic. We're like, oh yeah, the card's right there in your sleeve. Oh yeah, the rabbit's in your hat. Like this religious thing. And for all the people in the world to do this, Donald Trump, it's just such a joke. We're just not buying it.
The
look,
thing is,
it's
David, I just want to one
go
thing.
ahead,
The
Coyote. Go ahead. Go
Ayatollah,
ahead.
yeah, the Ayatollah. Because that's like the Pope of like the Islam thing, and that's the thing about it. So you got some people,
It,
15,
it's
15.
he's seen as a figurehead of the Shiite Muslims.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Right.
saying. So we have billions of Christians, and then billions of but they have millions of over in Israel, and that's the whole thing. It's like it's trying to invoke a freaking holy war or something. I can't piece it together. But why would they do this? This is
And
just
it doesn't even
weird.
make any sense because in Islam, Jesus is a prophet. In Judaism, he's burning in hell in a vat of his own excrement. So,
All right.
Hey, Diligent, if I may, I want to counter Maine, the brilliant Maine. Maine, I follow you. I think you're amazing. And my lesser IQ is going to offer this. I completely disagree that that
Whoa,
that
whoa, I
that,
can't let
that
you do that. I can't let you do that. No simping on my stages. Definitely not the main. Definitely not like praising his high IQ. I don't know. I can't like.
Okay, let me finish. Um, what I want to say to Maine is I do believe that the Democrat Party will entirely impeach Trump, not because Trump, for all the reasons you pointed out, might not be worth impeaching to them now, but because it's going to be a message to the entire base, to the entire agenda, that they will absolutely go after tooth and nail because now the House has the purse. Woo! So anyway, I just wanted to say, yes, I do believe that Trump will be impeached if the House takes the if the Democrats take
But
the
do you
House.
All right.
believe that he'll be convicted? That's the thing in
no.
Right.
the Senate.
That's exactly right. That is the right question
I don't
because
know. That I don't
Well,
know.
actually, I would push back on Maine in this way. I think they're more
my
likely
lord.
to impeach him in the House
Yep.
if they control the House, but not the Senate, because then they can do it symbolically without the fear, because he's absolutely right about this. Why, if you were a Democrat, would you want JD Vance, a young, sorry, more handsome Republican, to be basically the
I
incumbent now
I
when
I
they
I,
win?
I he's not. I'm not gonna go with more handsome. I can't let that
Then
one go
Trump? Are you kidding?
unopposed to. Neither one of them
Listen,
are particularly handsome, but definitely not
Skyliner.
JD Vance.
But
let
Go
come
ahead,
me
on.
let
David.
me
Hey,
let
Dilly,
me let me
can
let
I
me
get
be
in here?
clear. Hold on one sec. Let me be clear about impeachment. Okay. Everything I've said about them not impeaching him is everything that's happened up to this point. I can't tell you what's going to happen between now and the end of Trump's term. He could do something that's really impeachable, right? Like we don't know that. He could do something. Up until everything that I've seen in the second term just to this point, there's nothing really there that's worth it, right? Now, if the Democrats somehow some way and the moderate Republicans in the House find out that he could get convicted in the Senate, which again is not a simple majority. Remember that. Maybe, but I don't think that's going to happen. On the religious aspect that you guys were talking about just a few minutes ago, remember
The
the
YouTube
evangelical
chat is very upset that you called him handsome, David. I just want to throw that out there. They're very upset with you.
the the evangelical Christians love Donald Trump. Okay, I don't know why. I can't explain it. I mean,
I
when
do.
I'm not in Maine, I'm in Levy
It's
County, Florida.
propaganda. It's
I'm in
propaganda.
Levy County, Florida, which is a it's one of the most conservative counties in Florida.
That's
Okay,
where I
and
live, Maine. I'm a
yep,
Levy girl.
there you go.
Yay.
So you understand, right? Levy
Totally.
County, where I'm at right now, is one of the most conservative counties in Florida. There are more flavored churches here than anything else, and these people love Trump, right? But this is I don't go down this conspiracy kind of stuff where like this is having some kind of an onus over it because one of the what I think is one of the greatest traditions in Washington is an event that happens every October. It's a Sunday. It's usually right around the first week of October, right before the Supreme Court opens up for their session. It's called the Red Mass. At the Roman Catholic Church. That's the Cathedral of St. Matthew. And they have this really great event, and there are justices there. There are members of Congress there. It's put on by the John Carroll Society, and it's not like a giant, conspiracy thing. But this stuff has been around, right? And I saw the video of people praying with him. I don't really see that. I
There-
mean, you see religion and politics
He
together
is
a
There's
bunch.
one
stealing
thing though.
people's prayers. He really
No,
takes a sick pleasure in that. I swear to God, he does.
no, the whole thing
I
that's
can't I
weird.
can't I
I
can't
hate
speak
Mike
to
I
that.
don't
I
think
Johnson.
can't
that's a
speak.
sick
Like
pleasure. That's not
I
fair.
can't stand Mike
Not fair.
Johnson, right? I think we can all agree. Like Mike Johnson is not good, and
Oh,
he
I
this
like
is
to call him Speaker No Johnson. Thank you.
oh he's terrible, and I couldn't understand why he was there, but then I got it. It was like, and this is the weird part, and
It's
this is the one
Israel.
thing, man. The damn cow. He headed that, and it was like since 2002 that he had been planning that whole thing, and they did. It's like that's weird. It's because he's a Christian, but he's very Southern. About he got something passed with his church or whatever. I was digging in his Congress.gov or whatever, and it's just like, what is going on?
If you believe Trump is a Christian, you honestly need your head examined. He's taking these people for a ride. He loves this shit. He loves pretending to pray, having people praying for him, knowing that he's pulling one over on these evangelicals. You can
It's a
see it
large
in the
base.
look in his face. You can see it in the look in his
I
face.
don't
He's
think that at all. I don't think that at all. I don't think that at all.
covering up.
And
Well, look at
at
his
the end of the
actions.
day,
Look at his actions. Covering up
I
Epstein and
think
calling it a
I
hoax.
I I,
That is
I
not Christian,
understand what
sir.
you're saying. I understand what you're
He
saying.
said he's not religious.
I've been 100% on board with Dilly, and we've been grinding through this with Dilly, who has got this a long way. He's done an amazing job doing that. However, I don't think that's the truth about Trump. I think what we're looking at right now is with this thing with Ken Paxton and with Cornyn, is that they're going to make a deal, and it is all about the SAVE Act so that we don't have rigged elections. And Maine doesn't believe our elections are rigged, which we have industrial scale voter fraud. And that's the only reason I can't stand Maine, is because he doesn't acknowledge the truth that's actually in his face. And so that's the deal that's going to go down in the next couple weeks. Thank you, Dilly.
Well,
Why
he read the
isn't
SAVE Act, though,
Trump?
didn't
No,
he?
hold on. So I just want to address something. Did you know? I didn't know this. Did you know that there's this thing called Blue Anon? So there are Democrats who are convinced that our elections are rigged, and they also believe that the 2024 election was stolen by Trump. I didn't know
Every
that.
Well,
election, every election,
I don't doubt that. I don't.
every election that one loses, they believe it is rigged.
Well,
Diligent. Can
it's
I
not.
make a
Have y'all
point
read
real
the
quick?
SAVE
Exactly.
Act?
I tag Maine every single day, and that's why he hates me, because I just send him all of the little. Every day, I at least 3 or 4 times a day, I
You
send
tag
Maine and
Maine
tag
every
him.
single day.
Every single day, I tag Maine in 3 or 4 posts
It's obsessed with me.
of actual voter fraud going on, and he knows it. He doesn't care
So
what,
much
and I
fraud.
appreciate Maine because he understands it's a process, and I still believe that we got to
I'm
get
really
back
gonna
to
make Colonel mad.
non-rigged elections, and I think
Colonel
that's actually
Burton.
what will
Colonel
save
Hold
us.
Burton.
on.
Make him
Can
mad.
I?
Make him mad.
I'm gonna make Colonel
Colonel
I'm gonna
Burton.
make
Just
Colonel.
Hold on, Godfrey. Let Maine respond. Go ahead.
I'm gonna
Go
make
ahead.
Colonel very, very mad very quickly. Are you ready? Please don't yell at me. Don't kill the messenger. It doesn't matter what happens to Cornyn or Paxton. It doesn't, because the SAVE Act, my friends, is dead. They don't have 60 votes. John Thune is an institutionalist. He will not break the filibuster for that bill or any bill. It is not going to happen. And I need you guys to hear me on this. It's dead. Move on. Because if you keep focusing on this, it's just going to piss you off even more, and you're getting distracted by something when we've got bombs dropping in Iran. So maybe pay attention to the other stuff.
I was told Thune that was using it for leverage to negotiate with Trump. That it's still on the table.
And
Yeah.
Paxton's got to have whatever he wants up front, because if he doesn't get it up front, it doesn't matter. It's
Trump didn't
and same
endorse
with
him,
Trump.
though.
Same with Trump. Trump has to be like, deliver first, and then we'll talk. And if he doesn't do that, then he's just going to get rolled, because the
Yeah.
uniparty is going to uniparty.
Let's be clear here, right? If I'm Trump, which is a very scary thought for me, but if I'm Trump and I'm going in there, I look at Cornyn and I look at Paxton, and then I look at the Senate and I look at the establishment in the Senate. And my brain goes, well, let me play out this game theory here. Let's say Paxton wins, right? And he's the senator from Texas. And as we all know, the Senate majority there, the Republican majority, does not want Paxton. They want Thune. He will be backbenched. He will be stuck on some subcommittee. All he will have is a vote. He will have no say. He will not be a chair of a committee. He will have nothing. He will just be a guy. He'll just be another guy. Same thing they do to Rand Paul. He'll just be another guy. Okay. Cornyn has been there forever. Okay. So if somehow, some way, what we were talking about earlier, if the Democrats don't take the Senate in the midterms, if the Republicans keep the majority, even that, or if it's 50-50, Cornyn, I guarantee you, will be a chair of a committee, which is a very powerful position. And being the fact that he is a senior member, he's not, Mullen's age, he's in his 70s. He will be a chair of either appropriations or armed services or things of that nature, where he can wield a lot of power. In that situation, the president of the United States is incredibly transactional. So he knows, or at least somebody has told him, Cornyn being a chair in the Senate can get you more things. He has more sway, more clout in the Senate to get shit done than Paxton does, right? Now, that's where the deal comes in, right? He goes to Cornyn and says, I'm going to endorse you, okay? Go ahead and win this thing, but just understand Paxton's going to be my next attorney general. At least I'm going to try to nominate him. I need you to whip the votes, right?
I don't think he'll
That's how
do it,
this is
man.
going to go. I actually think he will. I think Cornyn
Paxton?
wants to. Yeah, I think he will, because Paxton, more than anything, Paxton will look at himself, because he's not stupid man either. He knows, as Attorney General of the United States under Trump, he will have more power and access than he would being a backbencher senator from little nowhere Texas, right? He will be in the backbench. The Senate will destroy him. They will put him on some low-level bullshit committee or subcommittee, and they won't let him have a say. You put him in there as Attorney General, that MAGA base is going to love that. Is going to
Yeah, but Maine, can he
love
get
that.
His
So
morals,
can
though.
Maine,
I
can
can
he
I
get
weigh in,
confirmed?
please?
Can he
Yes, he
get
can.
confirmed?
He can. He
You
can.
have to
But
vote
that's the
Coyote,
first,
deal.
though, right?
Hold on.
Coyote,
That's the deal.
Coyote, you got to
That's
dominate these Democrats and these women, bro. You can't
that's the
ask for
deal.
permission to
Can
dominate
No, well,
I
they
them.
can
know
I
his
please
morals.
comment on
His morals are
election
too
fraud?
high.
Okay, let's let Godfrey chime in. He was waiting. Coyote, you're next, and then it's Lou. I don't want
So
to have
I
to
gotta
call
I
on you,
gotta
but
bail in 5 minutes. Just that.
yeah,
all
just a
right.
couple things as a three-time Trump voter on election fraud. This is just speaking for me personally. I don't care about election fraud at all until Epstein is adjudicated, because it makes me think there was another agenda behind election fraud that we're not being told about, which I think there is. Second of all, Trump's not going to arrest anybody in America. He's not going to investigate anybody in Maricopa County or Fulton County. He's going to do what he just said he did, to blame it on China, so that he doesn't have to investigate anyone in America. He's already told you what he's going to do. So the public isn't going to buy it. They're just going to think it's more Trump theatrics. And yes, I do think there was election fraud in 2020, but I'm under the distinct impression that was all by design to make Trump look like the victim so he could come back a second time. There's nothing about what this man is doing is genuine. And when he talks about election fraud, I know there's a duplicitous agenda behind it. And I knew he was going to blame it on China. And I still think he's going to try to have the brazen audacity to blame it on Venezuela as well. And he's not going. You might see a couple low-level fleas at the county level in Fulton County and maybe Maricopa County be arrested, maybe for some paper ballot shuffling bullshit. But you're never going to get that holy grail election fraud uncovering an arrest that you wanted, Colonel Burton. It's just not going to happen, because Trump is, everything he does is a grift. It's just all a lie, and he's blaming it on China so he doesn't have to investigate anyone.
They're not arresting anybody. Well, they blamed it on Venezuela first. You
Exactly.
remember that when they were when we were going into Venezuela, they were saying Venezuela rigged our voting
Yep,
machines.
exactly.
Well, that's Patrick
And
Byrne, right? So Patrick Byrne has stated he basically laid out the entire process of the election fraud they went through. And Tina Peters in jail. Another reason why I'm pissed off at Maine that he doesn't like
Let her
the
rot.
Gold Star
Let her
mother in
rot.
jail for exposing industrial scale voter fraud. However, Patrick Byrne laid out the entire thing, and anybody here who hasn't went down this rabbit hole, I highly recommend you listen to Patrick Byrne, because it is a very coherent and
He's
believable piece.
CIA. He's CIA. He's a liar.
Yes, he said he's CIA, and there's lots of guys who are CIA. I'm friends with a lady named Kathy O'Brien who was raped by Gerald Ford. Okay, I've flown her around and taken her to places. Okay, this is it's a deep dark.
MK
The
Ultra,
state
right,
is
Colonel?
real. Yes, I know exactly what we're talking about here. So, and in our Gen X chance to get this done and not pass it on to the millennials who were fucking destroyed. Excuse me for the F word. Uh, Getting destroyed by all the vaccines and all the things we've done to those kids, and what RFK Jr. is doing, and even Bernie Sanders tried to do, but then got captured. All the things that we're trying to do to free ourselves from this matrix, uh, we're doing it right now. Just keep telling the truth.
oh, this is my thing with all this. It's crazy that we would even MK Ultra and nobody, like, violation of the Constitution with this war. Like, it is crazy to me, and it's hard to say. I've read the Save Act, and I didn't like a lot of the stuff that's in it. I don't even think that it should be a question to have an ID. It's easier to vote than it is to get a pack of cigarettes. But the whole thing about all this is I'm not understanding like how the riffraff's going to get out of there when we got some weird stuff. I mean, you got to think, man. These people are talking about freaking Third Temple. Everybody's talking about MK Ultra. Gerald Ford raped somebody. They had the Epstein. This is bad.
Let's reel it in. Let's reel it in a little bit.
This is
A little too
bad.
far afield. A little far afield.
But it's true, though, Dilly. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know what to say. It's so weird to me.
I will say, I did read, was it yesterday? No, it was this morning. Sorry, with when we have a lot of news and flooding the zone. I lost it this morning. I haven't posted about it yet because I don't really care, but it's funny because it's part of this conversation. A gentleman by the name of Matthew Lass, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but it's Laiss, was convicted in Pennsylvania for voting twice in 2020 for Donald Trump. The gentleman's name is
What?
Matthew Lass. Yes.
So
Yes.
so what? I don't get it.
That's what I'm just trolling Colonel. I'm just trolling Colonel.
Oh, I see.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
I look.
Wait, are
I
you
lo-
saying that didn't actually happen?
No, I'm saying that actually did happen. He actually turned in a ballot. His primary residence was in Frostproof, Florida, which is a very interesting little town. I am sure Miss Lou knows where Frostproof, Florida is. And he went
Right,
to
and that
Pennsylvania where his
that
parents live.
literally is
Yeah.
completely undone by the 100,000 ballots that were actually with a black man who was on stage on election night saying, "I drove these ballots into Pennsylvania." So just stop what you're doing.
So let
Say
me just
it's Trump,
bottom
it's
right
bad.
corner,
Didn't happen.
everybody. Please go down to the comment section in the X space, repost the space. If you're on YouTube, hit that like button, turn the bell icon on. Nancy, you've been waiting very patiently. Go ahead, dear.
Hi. Thanks, Dilly. There was cheating even in the last thing, and it was reported in local news. And Austin, Texas, isn't actually known for its conservatism, so they wouldn't be reporting that. So it did happen. That shooting that went on here that was attributed to some kind of terrorism. Let's get real here. The guy was wearing a shirt, two shirts in Austin, not exactly cold, which is people don't do. The outer one was said Allah, and just in case you got confused and couldn't really pinpoint it, the inside shirt said Iran. Now, how ridiculous for somebody to buy some bull crap like that? That that was a setup.
It's a
it
It,
little on the
totally.
nose.
I mean, come on. Is it like is there a little group of kids at Brandeis putting out these false flags? I mean, if they're not, it's funny we can't find any information about
As you know, it's funny. Oh, just real quick, if you're watching on YouTube, as you guys are saying this, Chip Roy is at the podium in the house with a picture of the shooter and the Austin shooter that it just says "property of Allah"
It's
on this big
hilarious.
cardboard cutout.
We
Yeah,
can't. We know nothing about
They take a sick pleasure in
the
it. They really
right.
do. These little
But
inside
you
I'm
guys
jokes.
are talking over. You're crowding the woman, though, Nancy. You can finish. David, then I'll let you go.
Okay. And I think I can't remember which one was it. I think it was Maine. They referred to Texas as a what was this say? A little whatever. Texas isn't a little whatever anything. It's huge. And if we lose Texas, whatever that is, what does losing mean? Because right now it
Nancy, you just voted the owner of Zorro Ranch, who is doing construction instead of looking for bodies as Texas comptroller. What do you think about that? That
well, we also voted to keep Abbott, who is corrupt as all hell, and I didn't vote for him. I didn't vote for him. And we kept our lieutenant governor, who is corrupt as all hell, and they're all bought off. They're both bought off, and we put them both back in there. So I'm pretty disgusted right now. And so the guy you're talking about is the least of my disgust. The other ones are more disgusting than that because I believe in innocent until proven guilty. The other thing is, and Ted Cruz, I mean, who's already sworn that his first allegiance is to Israel, so I won't be voting for him ever again. And then we have Cornyn, who's got like a 20% on the Liberty Index. He's absolutely sold out, horrible. I don't care. Trump does not have a good track record of picking good people. I mean, look at
Crenshaw.
Yeah, and his good, well, the one he's being replaced with is just a bad, a worse. Is an Israel first guy.
He picks people that he has control over and has
Well,
leverage on.
Lindsey
That's what he does.
Graham, who hated him for a while and was trying to get him impeached last time around, so he doesn't really have good judgment. He thinks he can sway them. He thinks he owns them. He doesn't care if they're good for the country. And I have no doubt anymore who Trump was talking
Wait a
about.
second. You think President Psyop is going to pick good people? I'm not following. I
No,
mean,
that's the point. I don't want him picking which senator people. I wish he'd quit recommending people, and it would not be a. I wouldn't care if people didn't listen to him, but still, some people do,
my
and I
friend,
don't want
I,
Cornyn back in there.
I feel like you've taken half of a red pill. I mean, it's a giant club. We're in a matrix. We're waking up from
We've
it.
been taking one.
Well,
Been
Voting.
good.
I think I'm pretty woken up.
Well, but
Can I finish,
Nancy,
David?
Nancy,
sure.
are you gonna be sending your kids to the Christian retreat at Zorro Ranch after Up Fines is done with construction? You gonna be sending your kids over there, your grandkids?
Of course not. But again, Dilly, I know this is your main thing. I think that guy's innocent until proven guilty.
What do you mean innocent till proven guilty?
Well,
He
you don't,
is. He
because you put
is.
him out
He
there like
is. He
he's
is.
done some crime, and there's no
He
proof of
it
that.
doesn't. It's not some crime. He is. He's doing exactly what I was complaining about earlier. He is committing a heinous act while invoking the Lord's name or Jesus's name. Right? People are begging him to search the property for bodies of children, and
You're begging him,
instead,
yes, yeah.
not just me. It is not just me,
What, your
people,
followers?
a lot, not just my followers, a crap ton of people in the United States who care about the Epstein victims and the survivors are begging him, have been begging him to search the property for bodies. He claims to be an upstanding Christian. He claims to be this conservative, Bible thumping
I think he
conservative.
should. I think he
Hold on,
should.
hold on. He claims to be this Bible thumping conservative. And instead of searching for children's bodies, he is doing construction, which destroys evidence, right? He is doing the exact opposite. I'm not going to not call it out. It is heinous.
Okie dokie.
Diligent, what happened to the commission, the state commission that was supposedly shutting that down?
That was, well, what's
Can I
interesting
finish?
about that what's interesting about that is they shut down construction because he didn't pull out permits to do it. So I just want to, Nancy, you have a comptroller who is doing construction on his property without pulling the proper permits. So if he can't pull proper permits, if he's okay, let me rephrase. If he's in such a rush to do construction as people are begging him to search for bodies on Zorro Ranch that he doesn't pull the proper permits, how do you think he's going to behave when he's comptroller of Texas, who is in charge of all of the financials of the administration, the financial
Diligent. I didn't
policy?
come up to talk about him, and I'm a one voter in Texas, so
Well, I'll have you look up in the jumbotron. Or up in the title.
okay.
It
Uh,
says
it's
it says
he's in there.
Epstein.
Well,
So since
he
he
won.
owns
I
Zorro
think.
Ranch, it's relevant. We're also talking about elections, which he just won after Trump gave him an endorsement after he did construction on Zorro Ranch, and his son works in the administration. If I had to say, that looks like quid pro
Well,
quo.
it's a
You scratch my back,
oh
I'll
god.
scratch your back. That's
His
exactly what that
brother's the
looks like.
finance man. His brother's a finance man. That's
His
what's weird.
son's just a little. From what I've looked at, and I haven't looked at it in depth. It's just like a little bitty kid job. It's not much. It's just another person up there trying to.
It doesn't matter what it is. It's a job in the administration. All right. It's
Okay,
it's quid.
Diligent. I didn't come up here to talk about that. I understand it's your main thing, but I
What?
guess I can't finish what I came up here to say.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about it. I don't know. I'm sorry about your luck. I'm talking about it.
And there's no way that someone is going to buy Epstein's rape ranch and then hear from the Epstein files that there are possible bodies buried out there. And if that person has a soul, he will be demanding. I'm not talking about letting, demanding If you're a Republican and you have a soul and you stand up for victims, which, gosh, as a politician, this is called leadership, you'd be demanding that they come out with the cadaver dogs and look for this. Anything less
What
than
happened to the
in,
commission,
no, hold on,
Diligent?
no. But I'm talking about him. You can ask me about the
Listen,
commission,
that is a distraction. The commission
right?
is investigating the corruption. I just want to clarify. The commission that New Mexico passed into law to investigate Zorro Ranch is investigating the internal corruption that allowed Zorro Ranch to go on for 30 years unhindered. That's what
Yeah,
the
just
commission is.
imagine if
Has
you
zero to do with
right.
currently investigating the grounds of Zorro Ranch. Zero.
Let's just imagine you're innocent and you buy a house, just a house, not a ranch. And then you read in the news that, Jeffrey Dahmer buried one of his victims there, and it's rumored that it's there. You would just immediately call it, get out here, look, find those victims. For the parents have been looking for these victims for their whole life. They're traumatized. They want closure. You're not doing this. I'm sorry, but this is dirty. It's filthy. And by the way, it doesn't help him that he's incredibly loyal to Israel. This is stinks to high heaven.
And it's
Who
not some reductionist issue of like, oh, you're on this thing. All due respect, Nancy, especially to your opinion. Everybody has different opinions, but is it a bar too high to not want elected officials to be involved in child trafficking, this pedophilia? If you look into the Epstein files, there seems to be an ideological slant towards Satanism, towards Baal, and this sadistic enjoying this.
why do you keep bringing up the Baal? Like you do it all the time. Like what's going on with that? Why are
And
you
we don't
so
have
I,
to.
sensitive?
We don't even need that. I mean, on the
but
surface, like you said, Diligent, you had a huge percentage of Congress people not want to investigate this slush fund into harassment, all these sexual offenses. So is it, I don't think it's a bar too high to say, hey, yeah, I think the Epstein thing is important because if you're worried about other issues in Iran, whatever you came up here to talk about, in fairness, if you have compromised government leaders, you're not going to get anywhere with true representation.
hey, because I'm from Texas and I know Nancy well. She's just old school. She wants to talk about the politic part or whatever. She gets all the other shit. Trust me. But
You guys
that's all
forgot to
that.
mention that the slush fund is paid for by taxpayers. We pay for their protections,
They're
for
all
their
in it,
sexual
bro.
healing.
So what does this all tell you? Yeah, I'll tell you what it tells you since we're at war right now. The blackmail operation worked. I mean, can you draw any other conclusion? Come
I'd
on.
like to ask Diligent that.
Yeah,
What else could there be?
yeah.
I've said one of two things. And I'm with you. Either we are compromised or we were lied to. Take your pick. Neither one is good. Neither one's good.
Your
But the
government
policy,
has owners. That's it.
You got a
the
super
policy,
chat.
what?
You got a super chat. I'm in the YouTube. I don't know if you do announce that or whatever.
I can't see it. I don't know. I don't know how to. Thank you for the super chat. I don't really know. It says, "Grow your channel. Troll lives matter." Is that the one you're talking about, Coyote? I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know much about. This is. I'm new to super chat. Thank you, everybody who's coming to YouTube. That's cool. Thank you, Ian Carroll, for shouting out the channel. Go ahead, Godfrey. If you have your hand up, no one's talking. Just chime in.
Yeah, no, I was gonna ask the colonel a question, but I don't. Is he? Yeah, I think he left. Yeah, but
I don't think he's here
yeah, no
anymore.
worries.
I don't know why you guys want to argue about election integrity. It just seems, am I the only one who does not care about the elections? I don't care. I don't
Oh
want
no, I
either
don't
side to
care.
win.
Yeah,
Fuck these
Midterms?
elections. These people are all criminals. They're deviants. They're degenerates. They're decadent. They do not serve we the people, right? They are there for their own shit, their own wealth accumulating, and their own power accumulating. They serve their masters. They don't serve us. Both sides are corrupt. I'm not advocating for anybody to be voted for.
When did
Nobody.
we
Hey,
ever care about midterms? Nobody ever cared about midterms, but they do this year. It's
hey,
so weird.
hey, I have a question. So, if Ross Perot back in 1993, if he had won the election, do you think the United States would be in this position today? And think about this: the same kind of platform that Trump ran on is similar to what Ross Perot did, and Jesse Ventura.
Okay, well,
body.
thank you for that. I
The
feel like I'm the I
reporter.
feel like I'm the real victim here.
I'm just throwing that out there and just
Well, we
making
had
conversation.
if you're talking about an independent candidate or an independent party, we had one shot at that. I'm going to have you mute your mic because there's a lot of background noise. We had one shot at that, and that was with Elon Musk and the America Party. I was staunchly opposed to it because it was before I was pissed about Epstein. And there's like a 2 week window there where Elon Musk, he said that Trump was in the Epstein files. He launched the America Party. He was all in. He was talking to other billionaires about creating a third party and messing with the whole dynamics of everything. And we had a good shot at having a third party with that movement. However, um, the establishment and the regime laid down the law on Elon Musk. He may or may not got a black eye. He may or may not have been threatened. He may or may not have lost a lot of his contracts or could have lost a lot of his contracts, especially in the AI development world. Um, so he was given an ultimatum after he posted that Trump was in the Epstein files and Steve Bannon, which was you either play ball, shut up, and never talk about America Party again, or you're screwed. And he had no choice. No Mars, no SpaceX contracts, no AI contracts. Right? Grok for Government got a huge contract alongside a lot of these other AI companies that have kind of almost merged with government now. And Elon was specifically told, and I know this because I know somebody who is around, right? And I announced this on my page as it was happening. This was last summer. He was told that if he wanted to have a truce with Trump and be able to maintain his government relationships, uh, America Party had to be never spoken of again. And as you can see, and I would just have you go look at his profile and search America Party, he never spoke of it again. And instead of meeting Trump at Mar-a-Lago, he ended up meeting Jared Kushner in New Jersey at Bedminster. And the reason why is because I guess Jared's the point man. If you want to talk to Trump, Jared's the guy. But Trump hated Elon at that time. I don't know if he still does. I know that he did. And that for that meeting to happen, there had to be an abolishment of the America Party. So the regime and the establishment through Trump and the people around Trump squashed the America Party, squashed it. And you go fact check me. Go
Now,
to Elon's, go to Elon's page, search America Party, and you'll see right around then is when he stopped talking about it. Just gone. It just vanished. No other word about it. It was talking about he was going to vote. I think he said he was going to give Massey 10 million or a bunch of money, and then American Party a bunch of money, and give us all a shot to have leverage. When he first announced it, I was vehemently opposed to it because I was still Team Trump and not wanting anybody to rock the boat. Well, then the Axios put out that DOJ memo saying that they were closing the Epstein case. There's no there there. They're not going to investigate anybody. They're not going to indict anybody, and that he committed suicide, and that's the end of it. When that happened, I'm like, oh snap, we need leverage. Where's the America Party? And so then I started advocating for it, and it just they pulled the sales out of it immediately. Immediately, the establishment got Elon Musk to bend the knee and shut down the America Party. We don't have
Serge,
a Ross. We don't have a
Hey,
Ross
but
Perot party. We don't have a third
yeah, but
choice.
hey, can I finish it? And I'm not
stop
taking
yelling.
away what the things you're saying, but I'd like to take this a step further, if I may, please. Okay, so it's I don't know any of you guys, okay, and I know that you don't know me, but it's probably fair to say that everybody in this room, okay, is not an Epstein fan. Okay? And it's probably.
All right, he must have
I feel
glitched
like
there,
he's eating
buddy.
pizza.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel like he's
I
eating pizza in
think
his
he
underwear.
glitched. He glitched.
So not Epstein
Uh,
Vance.
Hey, so I'll
yeah,
back you on
let's.
that Jared Kushner part because he's over there going to Ukraine and Russia as well, making
Did you
deals.
say
He's a
did
very
you
powerful
say
man.
did you say eating pizza in his
And the
underwear?
tidy whities, yeah. He just sounds like he's got glasses on, just sitting in front of a box computer. Uh, I don't know. He did, didn't he? Like,
So you're saying Jared Kushner's in Ukraine? Is he over there for BlackRock? I mean, come on,
wearing a red
folks,
bracelet. Yeah, wearing a
come
red
on, folks.
bracelet too.
Look. What is it? Abagine, whatever the person who was with a laptop, Anthony Weiner's laptop. If we saw
Uma
everything on
Abedin.
if we saw everything on Anthony Weiner's laptop and everything in the Epstein files, I think we'd realize that there is no democracy, that there is nothing that and you'd go back and realize that you've been lied to for 80, 90 years. You'd say, okay, oh, they did 9/11. Oh, that's what happened with JFK. I am sorry, folks, but this great melange of lies is sooner or later is going to come crashing down. And the only thing that's going to be notable about future elections is the number of people who just don't vote. They're like, we know it's a lie. I mean, it's like you're in North Korea now, and you realize your
You-
government's always been lying to you. It's like you're in the Soviet Union, and you realize the government's been lying to you. The wall needs to come down, and it hasn't come down yet. And I think this war, bringing it back to the present and the subject of diligent space, I think this war is the inflection point for that. I don't think none of us want it to be happening, but we're asking why. Why did our president have a personality change? I mean, it's like Chuck Norris just came out as trans. This is the oddest thing. What
the
is happening?
overwhelming majority of the
Yeah,
people, and I want to validate what you said right there because we're talking about aliens now. Like, what? That's a thing that our government is coming out and telling
I'm
us
not
that
talking about
they're
aliens.
no, but
Not
our
yet,
government
Billy.
is
Not yet.
but whenever someone
so
does talk about
weird.
aliens, just ask them, gosh, I'm scared that aliens, you're right. We should talk about aliens. Will they buy up all our politicians? Will they run a blackmail operation using pedophilia in order to inveigle our politicians to help us bomb other kids in another place in the world? Wait a second now. The worst kind of alien actually is just an actual earthling that exists now, and a group of them that have out-group psychopathy and in-group fealty, and we cannot unsee it.
Yeah,
Let's
after
go
all,
to
David, a real alien might do a better job.
let's go to some of these hands real quick. Dr. Farrow, strike, and then social.
Hello, thank you, Diligence, for the mic. This is my first time in your space. It's an honor, and I appreciate the opportunity. I just came up to break for peace. I'm from the Middle East. We don't have to bomb each other like these oligarchs are doing. And I just heard an economist. He said that we're about to have a global secession. So technically, all of us are going to be poor, and we are going to be go through like very hard time altogether. Just for a bunch of oligarchs. You can call them aliens, and most of them are on the Epstein file. So these Epstein criminals, they were not only Americans, but they came from all over the world. There are a lot of Arabs and Muslims on the Epsteins.
We got to
So
keep it
fuck.
cool, Dr. Farrow, too, man. I seen it. It was heating up the other day. It's. We know what it is, but it's like we can't. We got to remember this too. Honestly,
Look, we have to have wisdom and seek the escalation at every opportunity that we have. I think the escalation is one of the best strategies, and I have learned this from following politics for the last, I would say, since the Ukrainian war, because I started following politics since then. The escalation is good, and let's pray for our children and for literally for world peace, because it's not something that we like laugh at Miss Universe pageant and stuff like that. Because I literally used to laugh at that, but we need this. We really need this for the future for our children. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Anybody want to respond to him?
Well, I would agree. I think that human solidarity is on the rise. I mean, there's one good little silver lining is everybody in the world feels like they're being immiserated by the same group of people, and those same group of people need us to hate each other. And I think we're starting to see through that, where we say, oh, you know what, black versus white, blue collar, white collar, doesn't matter what color your shirt is. Also, where you live, we're all being played. And so I think if we just love each other and absolutely renounce the wars, that will rise above all this.
Did y'all watch Tucker Carlson? I don't know if it was yesterday or I think it was yesterday. It's something that worth watching because it comes out. It talks about some pretty deep stuff, and it's different coming from him. But I'd urge everybody to go watch that because it's
I
the
saw
opposite.
I saw that he said something. God, they were triggered. They were triggered. I saw um
He told the truth
he said something. What was it? The schools. He was talking about the Jewish schools
in the
and
temple.
yeah, the temples, and that people were they were saying that it was going to create a bunch of backlash. And I don't know. I don't know enough about it to speak with it with certainty, and so I don't want to get into it. I want to look more into it before I speak about it, because there's once you start getting into, and I feel the same way about the Muslims. Once you start getting into attacking people by groups of religion, if it is attacking, I don't know if it is, but um, you kind of lose the plot because you're giving actors cover of hatred, or at least claiming hatred, right? And that's the same goes for the Muslims. Like that's why I said the United States is founded on freedom of religious expression. It's the very first amendment. It's the very first part of the. It's the most tangible clause in the Constitution is freedom of religious expression. The second clause in the First Amendment is the Establishment Clause, which forbids the government from establishing a theological law such as Sharia law or the seven laws of Judaism, or I forget the proper name there, but it's along those lines. So I'm a firm believer that individual accountability will always reign supreme. Um, but yeah, I need to look more into the schools and what they were talking about. People were
It's
trying to people were trying to say that they were. Oh, it was Ian Carroll. That's I replied to one of his posts earlier today. He said that they were hearkening them something along the lines of the Confucius schools, which was how China embedded kind of spy schools everywhere and propaganda schools that were full of like communist practices to try to subvert our institutions, and not just ours, but globally, and they were kind of comparing them to those. But I don't want to say that without knowing more about it.
It's not the religious aspect of it. That's the thing. I'm over that whole other part. My thing is like the Christian. There's the movement ideology difference between the Christians right now, and that's where the support is. That's where the money is. That's where all this other. That's a big divide, really. If you think about it, that's who attacked you. It's like why are these people attacked? And that's the whole thing about it because like Tucker had said, and that's a good thing. And it doesn't go that deep. It's like I got a way of reading the Bible. They have a way different way, and they're very aggressive with coming out and reading it their way, even though it's written pretty clear. But that's the whole thing. That's why Trump went after that evangelical base because they have to have this belief in the of the land. My thing is when he rose, it was the third temple, kind of like Tucker said. Very true. It's that's when he rose. He said he'd take down the second and rose with the third. But I don't know. I respect everybody else if they don't attack me, but they attack, bro.
Harmony, my co-host, I want to hear from some women. Harmony, do you have anything you want to add, or Zintani?
Yeah,
Zintani,
lots of things.
Praise it,
do you have
Tommy.
any? Do you have
Hey,
any?
Coyote.
Do you have any comments on what the war with Iran? You got to be opposed to war. Surely you have an opinion, right? You have some kind of opinion.
Um, I think men, what can be done?
Are you going to make
I
this
give up.
into a feminist type of thing.
No, I mean, but
He's just
what do you
pooping.
want? You ask my opinion. My opinion is, well, the men are doing it again. They're doing what men do, is my opinion. It's a shame for everyone, but we have to deal with it. So
She has a point.
that is, I mean,
Well, I would agree with her, but look at Hillary Clinton, who was Secretary of State and oversaw
okay. Well,
quite a few
Yeah, but she
heinous
was a
acts in the
demon.
Obama administration.
Well, men did
I'm just-
found America, so happy to take credit for that.
Been waiting
Tulsi
for her to get on.
Gabbard, Christy Noam, who else?
The YouTube chat is asking Zintani. Ask Zintani if I can sue for misrepresentation for women wearing makeup. That's from our YouTube channel.
what? Misrepresentation for
Yeah,
women? What does
false
that even mean?
advertisement. He's saying that you guys are false advertising when you wear makeup and filters.
Okay.
That wasn't me. That was the Bill Clinton parody. All right, let's go to Maze. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Have you?
I've definitely found an opinion. I just didn't know much about the whole realignment with Kristen and all that stuff. But I think that this is again kind of aligned. Why do you think Trump is beholden to Israel's foreign policy? Why? Well, I know that this is a little bit complex, right? There's layers to this, but for the most part, not only is this kind of embedded within his family, so culturally he's taken this on, and then he has these donors that have given him massive amounts of money. There have been things that they wanted in return, such as the embassy, what he did by putting the embassy in Jerusalem and making that, I think, the capital. And he's also given them the Golan Heights. Like, there's things, and so I think with this specific 200, I think it was $130 million donation. This was more about like annexing the West Bank, and there could have been obviously, taking back all of the nuclear deal stuff that when he.
Mix of it being something I think Zionist. He's 100% a Zionist. I don't think that he cares about the end time prophecy per se. I just relationship. His family, Jared Kushner, by the way, this is also very profitable for him because they have with what used to be called the Marshall Plan of the Middle East and then the Peace for Prosperity, it's now evolved into the Board of Peace. This is going to allow them to, for lack of better term, build back better everything that they're destroying over there. He's going to be on that post-Trump presidency. So there's a lot of different reasons, I guess. That's just, kind of me throwing a few out there. So I think that he's also wanting to be the one that
You
solves
think
for
he's
this.
blackmailed, Maze?
Do I think he's blackmailed? I do think that he's definitely done and been involved in compromising position. Do I think that like his thing is diddling kids?
Why are
No, I
you
don't.
dancing around it so much? It was a really simple
No,
question.
I'm
Do you
telling
think
you because
Israel's blackmailing him?
I don't I think that he's done compromising things, but I don't know. To me, it's not his fetish. Like I don't see that. I'm just being
I
honest. I'm
can't
being
believe
honest.
Maze
But
of
do I
all
think that
people.
he's done
I
it to
can't
be
believe Maze of
included
all
in those
people
social circles?
is
Probably.
afraid to say it. She's afraid to say if she thinks
No,
he's
I'm not afraid to
compromised.
say it. Man, fuck Trump. Like if I could kick him
I
in the
think she's
face,
just
I
being
probably
fact based.
would. Just saying,
I'm
not
just messing with
violently,
her.
but just
I'm asking for her
metaphorically.
opinion. I said think. Do you think he's being blackmailed somehow? I didn't
There
say
is some
how.
elements
I
of
didn't
that,
say
I'm
how.
sure.
I didn't say that he was doing anything illegal, right? I'm
I know.
just
If you
asking,
listen
do
to
you
my
think he's being blackmailed somehow?
I'm
Blackmail, let
offering
me
you my
just
answer. I
Hold
don't
on.
think they needed to blackmail him. Do I think he's done shit that could blackmail him? Yes. I don't think they've needed to because I think he's been overwilling, a very willing participant in all of this for many of the reasons. So, like, not to
But
say
wait
that
a
he
second now.
couldn't.
But why would he
Let's
be
just
so
say,
anti-war?
what?
But don't you think that there's incredible? I've never completely capitulated to the idea that he was blackmailed until now, because this runs against his entire. He's sacrificing his base. Do you
Why he got
understand?
elected.
Like, yeah, this was a big part of his platform. When have you ever seen, like Obama didn't do it, Bill Clinton didn't do it? When did you ever see a president run on this is a very staunch part of his platform. Not since Woodrow Wilson did someone say, I'm anti-war, these wars were a total waste. He even said we should have never set foot in the Middle East. It'd have been better off. This has been a big waste of money. And all of a sudden, he's a regime change president. Even his administration, Tulsi Gabbard, he chose people who literally use the word regime change pejoratively, and now he's doing it. That doesn't look like someone being blackmailed to you?
I'll say it what it is if nobody ever. I don't want to crash the damn
That was a question
space.
for Maze.
Well, we're on YouTube too.
Well,
It's a simple question. It's like, do you think he's being blackmailed? Yes or no. You either think he is or you think he's not. Like it's like it's that simple. I'm not asking anybody to say he did heinous acts or he's in the Epstein
the
files in a bad way, right? We don't know
point.
that. I'm just
It's a
saying, do
false
you think
reduction. Has he done things that could have him be in that position to be blackmailed? Yes, probably. But
Maze.
I think he's willing to do this. I think it was
I just
more.
can't believe how diplomatic you're being. I have
Yeah, I
listened to
I
know.
am
you.
not. You're not listening.
I
Maybe
have
you just can't
listened.
appreciate the
I
nuance and the
Oh,
complexity. But I
no,
think
no,
that
no, no, no,
a
no, no.
there, this is
I
this is a
listen, me and you
hybrid.
have gone
Dilly.
rounds about Trump.
Because you're not going
Rounds.
to force me into this little
I'm
fucking
not forcing
reductionist
you. I'm
corner.
just
I think that he's done things that
It's
could
literally
definitely be
binary. You
used
either think
against
he's
him in
blackmailed or
blackmail.
not.
See, y'all can't listen. I think he's done
I
things
know.
that could be used against him in blackmail. Let me just say my three things. Three things. One, A, he's done things that could be used against him in blackmail. But B, I think that he's
I'm not
overwilling because
saying
of his
that.
donors and because it's very profitable. He believes in.
You're throwing
You
the
see?
in compromat. I'm just saying, like, you are including compromat, which means that he has done something that compromises him that can be leveraged against him as blackmail. I'm not saying that. What I'm
I
saying
am.
is because blackmail can be a few different things. It could be his family's being threatened, could be his fortunes being threatened, could be his reputations being threatened, right? Could be his presidency's being threatened somehow, right? And then there's leverage in one of these ways, and he's
His
being
life.
blackmailed.
His
And
life.
Could
His
be
Dilly,
his
daughter. Think about
life.
his daughter.
Dilly, I've been in this game for a little bit longer than you, and I'm going to ask you to just
Oh
pay
my
attention to
lord!
me.
You did not just
Pay attention to me. I
wow,
have
bro.
dug deep into
Wow.
his. Listen to
What
me.
game?
This is no, this like Dilly is embarking on his journey, and I love it. I will walk with
Oh,
him in
Oh
she's
baby steps. You know what
my
I'm
you're
saying?
just a
Ah,
lord,
But
novice.
Maze,
Go
listen,
Maze
ahead.
let me
knows what's up,
explain
Maze.
the
something to you
fucking
about Trump that I learned
grandstanding right
now.
now. I
I remember
cannot
my
Listen,
first
believe
beer.
don't
this.
take
Why are
that
you
the wrong
guys
way.
hitting on
Listen, listen.
Maze,
Listen,
man?
listen, listen, listen. I have learned so much more about Trump than I've ever known because I have invested in massive amounts of time of understanding what Trumpism is. And to really dig into this, you have to go back and understand the progression of the plans that have been taking shape with the Board of Peace, understanding what this alliance is, what all of these different accords are. He's going to make his empire off of this, meaning he has
Okay, so yay or
incentives.
nay
He's
to the blackmail?
incentivized for this. So
She's
that's what
not
I'm trying
willing.
to add in. But do I
She's
think
saying. I
he's
know what she's
done some
saying.
fucked
It's
up
not
shit?
just blackmail.
Absolutely. Do I
Uh-huh.
think he could
So
be
so
blackmailed and jailed? Absolutely. I'm not saying. So I want you to know that
if you
I
had
think
to, if there was a if the room was split in half and
Roulette.
there was a line on the floor and one side it said blackmail and the other side it said not blackmailed, which side would you lean towards, Maze?
he's incentivized. Does that fit on both sides?
But
He's
there's nothing
willing.
on
Because
She's
I
saying he's
feel
Whoa!
like
All
willing.
right.
blackmail takes
I
away
think, yeah,
Whoa!
accountability from him.
Wow!
I
Wow!
think
I
I know
I
don't
what you're
think he's
saying.
blackmailed. How
no,
about
you
that? I
don't.
think I
y'all
don't
need
think
to
he's
check Maze's
blackmailed.
bank records. I think she might be getting
I
seven
don't
thousand
think he's
dollars.
Seven
I'm
blackmailed.
just
thousand
And
saying.
let me
dollars.
Yep.
explain.
Yep.
I know what she's saying. She says
Listen.
he's willing. He's
Listen,
willing.
I
Yeah,
don't
I
think
No,
he's
agree.
no, come
blackmailed.
on.
I don't think they're twisting his arm to
Okay.
make 4
Okay,
billion a
let me
fucking
put it
year. I
let me
don't
put
think so.
let me put it in
We're
another way. Okay, let me put it another way.
Someone in the YouTube, someone someone in the YouTube chat said, "Go easy on her. She is Iranian."
Oh my God. So let me
Listen,
put. Well,
yeah.
no, that would work in her favor. But so let me put it this way: you have to play red or black, like in roulette. You have
It's
$1,000.
green, goddammit.
You have to
Hey, how
bet
does
red.
fighting
No,
amongst
red or
ourselves
black.
help?
You have to bet red or black. You don't get to keep the money. Red is he's being blackmailed. Black is he isn't. Which way are you going to push the money?
No, he's not. He's doing it
No,
willingly.
no. You have to bet the money. You
God
have to
damn it,
put
I
the
just
money on one
did.
of
She
I
those
said
said
no.
choices.
She
no.
said no. She
Oh
said not
no.
blackmail.
Okay.
The
Okay.
fuck is wrong
Okay.
with y'all? God damn.
Wow.
No, no,
Why
That
is
no.
was
it
You
so
know
hard.
what? I think the
difficult?
nuance Mace is going for is that he is
Racist.
black. Look, I think personally, you can't get into these positions.
Okay, we're gonna try this. Let's see if we can do a little bit easier. We're gonna do it one at a time. We're gonna take a quick straw poll on stage. Coyote, do you think Trump is being blackmailed right now? Yes or no?
I think he's willing to do the things that he's
They
doing.
don't take
So
Oh
these
my
answers, God damn it.
God. Okay. Oh, what is going on here? Why are they so hard to state their
What the
opinion?
hell? Ask me.
look up the word
David, I
OHEL.
can't believe out of all of the people, I'm usually the fence sitter. I'm usually the one that is unwilling to
Now you know how it feels.
speculate or offer opinion, right? And we could not get a straight answer out of all of the TDS lords on stage. These people have been going after Trump since he was elected. I just want full spaces, sagas, full multi-episode sagas, hour long, hours and hours each night for days and weeks in a row, and they will not give one way answers, either yes or no, to the blackmail. That's like, it's blowing my mind right now. I can't. Coyote,
Hey,
do you
hey,
think?
Dad.
Coyote, do you think? I'm going to drop you down if you do that again. Coyote, do you think Trump is blackmailed? Yes or no?
He's got blackmail. Yes, I'll go with that. But
Yes.
but
Okay.
I'm
Thank
still
you so much.
grieving. I'm still.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We're gonna go to David. Do you think Trump is blackmailed? Yes or no? Might be a mute glitch. David, double mute. Double
Yes.
mute. Yes. Okay. That's two on stage. Miss Lou, do you think Trump is being blackmailed right now? Yes or no?
Yes.
Three. Zensei, do you think Trump is being blackmailed right now? Yes or no?
Yes, and he
You
controls the
guys are
blackmail.
There's
giving him a
four.
fucking pass. That's what the problem is. But that's
The
Strike.
chat's
okay. Give
saying
him
it
a
could be
pass.
both.
Give him a
Strike.
pass. He's a good
Strike. Do
guy.
you
Being
think
blackmailed. Fuck
strike?
that.
Why are you getting so triggered? She's
Because it's
super
true.
triggered right now. Why is she so triggered? Strike. Do you think Trump is being blackmailed right now? Yes or no?
Gotta say yes, man.
Okay, Pete. Do you think? Thank you. Thank you
Y'all are
for
a bunch of
being.
followers and
She
shit, you
she
know?
is she is the best. They are the best instruction followers. They are so simple. Thank you.
The
Thank you
chat
for
says
being
it
so
can be both.
simple. JD Gallo. I can't see the whole name. Galore. JD Galore. Is
Yeah,
Trump being blackmailed right now? Yes or no?
I was gonna ask you that to poll the panel and see what they thought. And you know what? I gotta say, fucking 60%. That's a
That's
yes.
yes. Okay, CB3. Do you think Trump is being blackmailed right now? Yes or no?
No,
No?
no,
Okay, so one down.
I think it's more elaborate than that.
That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah.
But there's still this basic
It is
element.
nuanced.
It is not nuanced.
No, it's not.
Either he is being blackmailed or he isn't, right? There can be more nuance after that, sure, right? But it's not, it boils down to that fact. Either he's compromised because he's being blackmailed
That's
or
where
he's
your
not.
problem is. Your
No, it's
problem
not
is
true.
that the
He's
Okay, so I'm not
originally
done
compromise,
with the
you're
poll. I'm
tying
not
Yep.
done with the poll. Hold on. I'm not done with the poll. We still have more people. I want to get the whole stage. We're missing everybody in the chat and YouTube says yes, there's being blackmailed. Pete, is Trump being blackmailed? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So that's 7 saying yes, 1 saying no. Harmony, is Trump being blackmailed right now? Yes or no?
I think he has been for a long time.
Okay, there's 8. Zintani, is he being blackmailed? Yes or no?
By a bunch of different people, yeah.
9. So 9 on stage say yes, 1 on stage says no.
2.
You didn't say nothing. You didn't give me a straight
I said
answer.
no. I did. I said no, but you're tying
You think
your
you of all people, Queen Tinfoil herself, thinks that Trump is not being blackmailed right now.
That is correct. And when you ask me, because you are tying the blackmail to
I'm
the
not tying it to
compromise.
anything.
You are. You said compromised. He's compromised if he's I think he's
How
compromised.
is blackmail not compromise?
It is,
I mean, that's the whole
You
point
can
of
but
only
blackmail.
you
him
can
not.
only be
Oh my
blackmailed
God,
if you are
this is crazy that you guys are not able to like understand what I'm saying. I don't think
I
that
don't
they're
think so.
holding a gun to his head to make billions and billions over
That's not
billions.
what blackmail
I
means.
no, but
Right.
my point is well, he's not being forced to, I think he's a willing participant. He is compromised
Do
100%.
you know what
I don't
blackmail
think they're
is?
holding anything over his head. I think they're incentivizing him. That's different. Thank you, Zintani. You understand what I'm saying. I think he's incentivized. It is different. There is a nuance there that's important.
Okay, hold on. That's called
Th-
So
being
you know
bribed.
Yeah,
you're saying
that's
he's
That's
called
called a
corrupt.
bribe. Uh,
ego,
Yeah,
ego, ego,
that's
ego, ego,
corrupt.
ego.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
correct.
That's called being bribed, right? And those two things are totally different things. You can be
Exactly.
blackmailed and bribed, but the question is, do you think that he's being blackmailed? In other words, extorted to behave in a certain way for fear that something will happen to him, either his reputation or physically or something like that. Do you
I
think
think
that
he's
that's the
No,
case?
willing.
I agree with Mays. We saw Trump's character in the first month of him being in office when he launched those meme coins. I mean, we
No,
understand
no,
how
no.
he is, or all of the people that have bought they bought their pardons. It's basically like
Zintani,
I
we're
have.
not
Hold
arguing
on,
on whether
David.
he has
Wait 1 second.
ethics.
I've seen no, but that's why I agree with Mays. I think the question
But if
was
you but if you're morally flexible,
misleading.
right? If you're morally flexible, that's one thing, right? But someone can still blackmail you. Blackmail someone
Right,
only
but the point that Mays is making is that she that
We understand. So you guys you're kind of arguing in circles. It's semantics. The I'm not asking if he's corrupt. Okay, that's what Mays and you were talking about. Is he corrupt? Is he selling out? Is he selling his soul for personal gain? Okay, I agree. Has he done that? I agree. He has. He's doubled his net worth and the net worth of his family since he's taken office. I'm with you, Zintani, on that. Okay, but is he being blackmailed? That is a single question in and of its own. Like when somebody sells out, right? There's like a limitation there where the transaction runs at an impasse. There's only so much that you can be bought at. Like you know what I mean? Like some people will sell completely out, but there's some certain things ideologically or things that might hurt his reputation or his legacy or his family later on that he might not be willing to compromise on. That the whatever wealth is or whatever the benefit is might not be worth it to him. But blackmail's different. That's something that is devastating to you. It is a net negative, right? So it is leveraging something. It could be his life or his fortune or his businesses or his legacy or his his presidential legacy or his kid, right? Or his
I got
kids.
to change my answer to no
So
then.
there is, so is he being blackmailed somehow, like through
of
Israel
course he
or through
is.
Epstein? Like, that's the question. It was very specific. It's not nuanced. Blackmail and corruption are not the same thing. You can be blackmailed because you are
Exactly. You
corrupt.
just now got my
You
point.
can
Thank
you
you.
can be blackmailed because you are corrupt, right? But there's compromat in there that can be leveraged against you and that you can be extorted with. That's blackmail. Corruption is different. Corruption is pay to play. I give you $10 million, you write this policy for me. That's that.
So where you
It's not
said
this.
I just want to say, so where you just now differentiated, where like you also have this that could be used against you. So this is where that's exactly, you just embodied my whole point. I don't think right now has anything held over his head twisting his arm, but I do think should there ever come that point to where he would have to compromise, let's just say his reputation or something, then that also exists. Do you see the levels of complexity here? So do
I
I
put
think
in the
what he's
purple pill
done?
maze.
So no, 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 he gets it. He gets it. I saw the light bulb go off, and so that's what I'm saying. That's
I've been
exactly.
getting it. I've been getting it.
Well, okay,
Hey,
Mr.
hey,
Ben
hey! You
getting it.
wanted the women
I'm gonna
to
call you
talk.
Mr. Ben getting
Hey,
it.
hey! You wanted the women to talk. There's three that I see, so let them talk. Let them hash it out. There's three women up there. Let them talk it out.
Who is that?
Who
CP?
is this? Yeah, yeah,
CP3?
Thanks for giving
I
us
like him.
permission.
yeah. Let me
No,
let
no,
me
hash
hand,
it
let
out.
me handle these
Hey, you
women,
want?
bro.
Don't I apologize. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be obnoxious. I'm just saying you wanted women to talk a little bit ago. Let them hash it out, and I might learn something. I know. I learned.
Oh,
Jesus.
you're simping, bro. Come on,
Right.
don't be
You're
simping like that.
simping.
Come
They
on,
don't
bro.
even
Kind of
like that.
anti-Semitic.
Y'all leave him alone. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's
You were.
anti-sympathetic.
I thought he was sweet.
Oh my God.
He is
Stop.
sweet.
Stop.
I
And
did
now
too. I thought he was
stop
being
encouraging this
polite.
kind of behavior, this simpy behavior. I
He's
Is
a
won't
he
Like
have
the
president.
it.
victim
compromised?
thing.
Is CP3 compromised? Put a poll up in there.
I think
It
he's
wasn't
compromised.
Yeah,
CP3.
like
It was
compromise.
You guys are just
No.
it
haters. Let's
was
call the hating
CP3
level
don't
high.
talk like that. That was JD Galore. Go ahead,
Oh,
CP3.
okay, got
The
it.
Yeah,
floor is yours,
hey,
sir.
I
He's
know where I
catching
come
strays.
from. All right, I know where I come from. So I'm just posting out there. You want the women to talk? Let them talk. Damn, don't hate on me, man.
They had their piece, bro. They had their piece. Hold on. Let's go to
Okay, then
CP.
never mind. My bad. Sorry, son.
Yeah, yep. You had your moment. You had your moment. She's still not gonna fuck you though. Go ahead, CP3.
So I just don't think you can blackmail somebody who was basically, and then this is gonna just kind of detract. I don't think you can blackmail someone who's always had bad intentions, like someone
Of course you
who
can.
has a reputation. Well, yeah, sure, maybe in a position of
They're
power,
even more
but
vulnerable to blackmail, aren't
maybe
they?
it gets to the point to where have you? I mean, do you think it's gotten to the point where he just doesn't
Do
care?
you
Because
know there are
that's
people
what he
that
needs.
run Ponzi schemes and then someone finds out about it and blackmails them? If you're corrupt, you're more susceptible to blackmail, not less. That's how blackmail works.
Being susceptible to it and being blackmailed are two different things.
That's right. And Trump's being blackmailed.
I think he's susceptible.
Well, here's my evidence, okay? And it's it's just conjecture, so we're just guessing here. My evidence here is the personality change. He has made a direct hit not on Tehran but on MAGA. It is over, right? The main constituency, every male conservative, 40 and younger, believed not in no forever wars, no regime change wars. It was so indelibly a part of his campaign that he actually brought people along with him, like RFK Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard. They used the same terminology, right? You can't say I'm against regime change wars. You can't say I'm against forever wars and say America first and then all of a sudden capitulate and turn into Lindsey Graham. I'm sorry, but we all hated Lindsey Graham and we still hate him. So what happened? Why the big personality change? It just has to be blackmail. If it's not, there's just something else. Maybe it's the Samson option. I don't know, but there is some threat that has been made to him to make him become an entirely different person.
You
You know, there
gotta
is a
know, David.
I think it's the immaculate deception, David. It's just been one big immaculate deception, and we just are not privy to it. That's the thing.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I think there is a consideration out there that you can't get to these positions without being blackmailed or them having something on you, effectively making this kind of compromise or Epstein administration a dictatorship. What functions like a republic, a democratic republic, was actually through blackmail more like a dictatorship. So it's possible that just to play the game, you have to have this blackmail on you, and then that perhaps the person in charge, the blackmail, through leveraging the executive branch, potentially Trump. The nuance could be, in my opinion, that he's just, again, he is one of all of them who has blackmail on them, but he's the one that gets to decide whose blackmail gets exposed. Kind of like the Alex Jones, he phrased it as the Ring of Mordor, right? And then people are kind of fighting for this blackmail tapes, and that's why none of them go down. It's a game of who controls the blackmail at any given time.
Alex
I
Jones stole
also
my
think that
Alex Jones stole my Lord of the Rings, the blackmail ring. Mother.
I know, right? Sue
I
him.
also think that he changed when the whole Epstein thing. You remember that cabinet meeting? You remember it, Diligent, when the press secretary was asking Bondi, and then Bondi turned to the president, and the president said, "I can't believe anybody's even asking about this. It happened so long ago. These are, and he turned on the base. And there was really no reason for him to do that because he already knew that he wasn't going to be implicated in there. But we don't know what he was lied to about that. If they had had any goods on Trump with regards to child trafficking and Epstein, they would have taken down his first administration. Okay, the people who were in charge of it,
Not
and
necessarily.
well, yeah, because they could have gotten him. They could have easily had Kamala win if they had been able to prove that easily.
I could I could
So,
trace it back to 2015, 2016. That's where I'm at. I've dug on this thing, and it's when he started going after the base, or I'm honestly at that point where it was a Godfrey earlier, the whole like second election thing, and I'm not gonna go to the Butler thing, even though that was weird. That was the only time that CNN had ever live streamed it all 96 times, and everything else. But it's something is I believe that since Kennedy, that they've been planning, this whatever that's come, they've been trying to do for a long, long time. I just think that he was the one to pull. Would you have bought you? Would you? Do you think the American people would have got vaccinated if Hillary would have been in office? No.
Take over the space for a second, Harmony.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you guys, especially David, because I agree with a lot of the things you're saying. Um, so to give you some context, I was hardcore MAGA like from day one, and his appeal to me was the fact he was anti-war. All the neocons were after him. The whole crazy establishment Democrats were after him. So we thought this might be the guy, right? So it was like a complete mind game, and we were so invested for 10 freaking years. We were giving everything to this cause. We lost family, we lost friends over our support, and it was insane. And then come 2024, and I've been trying to ask myself this question, and this is what I want to ask you guys. Now we know most second term presidents, they go full mask off. So it's like their first term, they'll keep a couple promises here and there to keep people interested and voting them back in. What do we think if he was just going, he always planned to go full mask off in his second term and he just don't give a shit because, he can't get elected again.
But the problem with that is if we accept your proposition of a two-term president going full mask off in their second presidency, well, look at what Obama did. He leaned in to the things that he believes. He was a lefty. He leaned into it. Look at what Bill Clinton did. He leaned into the things he believed. It didn't throw off his base. He became more of who he was, which made his base happy, or happier anyway. But this is different.
Well, for me, like
Hold on, let me just finish
Obama,
this.
okay.
He ran as an anti-establishment guy, right? And the whole establishment, both parties, was a war party. The whole anti-war thing. That was a big thing. Let me put this in perspective. The most powerful Beltway magazine in America, when he ran the first time, was the Weekly Standard, meaning it influenced our political class more than any other magazine in America. It is Bill Kristol, it is a neoconservative magazine, and they endorsed Hillary Clinton. The august, most powerful Beltway magazine in America that was founded by his father closed its doors 3 weeks after it endorsed Hillary because they took the mask off and said, None of this other stuff matters. It's your fealty to Israel and your fealty to forever wars." And Trump was the opposite of that. So it's not that Trump is not morally flexible. All of them are. Of course they are. It's not that he's not self-serving, but this doesn't look like self-serving. This is tanking his reputation, tanking his administration, and tanking the elections. This totally looks like a
So
complete alternative personality.
I'll add another perspective to this too, and then I want to go back to Strike because I do like her opinion. He owes his donor class buddies, his fellow billionaires, and the establishment elite around him. You know, the people who have memberships at all of his clubs at Mar-a-Lago and Bedminster and the Trump Towers, etc. The people that he has clubs all over the world. He cares about their opinions. When he vacates the presidency at the end of his term, if he's not thrown out before then, he has to return to that world, and he owes people. He owes people that paid for him to be in office this time. They were selling seats, right? Tens of millions of dollars at some of the events that I went to. If you wanted to get into these tables at the back, it was it was like insane amount of money, right? Like I was able to get access close to there, but there was certain tables where if you wanted to go back at the back of the rally and sit with Trump, you had to there was people who were throwing hundreds of thousands of dollars just to get access to go sit with him. And then some of them were throwing millions of dollars on the table as donations. And if not to him, then to his PACs or whatever, but it was all funneling through. And he owes these people policy, and he owes these people favor, and he's gonna be beholden to them. I think a lot of the Epstein files is him protecting these people, right? It's not just about him being blackmailed for himself, but also the people that he doesn't care about me. He doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about the average American citizen. He cares about them and the fact that he wants them to cheer for him. That's how he cares about them,
You made me
right?
think of the Bibles that he sold.
And he fuck, you made me. I was right
My
in the
bad.
middle of,
He
bro.
wants them to cheer for him. You were on a roll. Keep going.
It's like an ego thing for him.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that to me, Cody. So he wants them to cheer for him, but he does not value their opinion. He does not value their sentiments. He does not value, right, what we want. He just values whether or not we are cheering for him. That's what he wants. And his loyalists, that's why he has no problem. And you've seen this all year. Like when I split on Epstein, I'm like, hey, bro, I can't get behind protecting peds. And he's like, they're not MAGA. They're not Republicans. Rhinos. Rah, 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 rah. He don't care. He does not care. If you're not cheering for him, he does not care about you. And the people, I'll just say this. I know somebody in those circles who's right up there with all of the money and all of that, part of the club, right? Who's very open with me, and he cares about those people. Those are the people that he cares about. It's a very small knit, very tight community of donor class people around Trump, and they're not all diehard Republicans, right? Lutnick has helped Hillary Clinton, the Clintons before. Like they do not care about. They hedge their bets, right? They care about who's gonna win. And they hedge their bets. They don't really care about Democrat or Republican. That's something they feed us because they want the poor people occupied. They want the poor people fighting and not demanding results from the establishment class. Um, but I can tell you this much: he does not care about anything but his reputation amongst those people when he gets out of office, right? Because he has to go face them when he's done. He does not care about us. He doesn't care about his legacy. He cares about his ego during office, getting his will done as much as possible. And I would argue we're seeing that it somehow has been compromised either through corruption or through blackmail, one or the other, I think, right? Or he was lying all along. Okay, so I'll add corruption into the choices. Before I was saying blackmail or he was lying during the campaign about like war and shit, but now I'll throw corruption in there because he has amassed a lot of wealth since I think he's amassed more wealth as a president now than any other president in history, or maybe all of them even combined. Go ahead. Let's go to uncommon. Go ahead.
Hey, Dilly, I got some pretty good news. Or Sully posted some pretty big news. I don't ever do this, but so they said that Saudi Arabia, United Arab, UAE, Kuwait, Qatar are discussing withdrawing from contracts with the U.S. and canceling future investment commitments in the U.S. That's not good, bro.
Wait, what?
I mean,
Yeah, go look at Sully's page.
why would they continue to invest with us when we didn't protect them when they started getting attacked? I mean, it's like a
Well, it's
totally
dividing off of you know what I'm saying? That's like that's what I've been stressing on this religious aspect of it, bro. This is like we're in the Middle East. What are we doing?
But I did want to comment about the Trump thing. I think a lot of people. I honestly think it's a little bit of cope even to say that he's blackmailed or that he's changed. I don't think he's changed. I think the whole thing was a ruse. And when you really look at like what he did, I mean, he's been in politics for over 10 years now. Like we know what he's doing and who he's for. And he's really never done anything for the working class. The point of Trump was to be a Trojan horse for the working class to get them to do things that they would otherwise not do, like go to war with Iran and obviously everything else that he hasn't. I mean, he really hasn't done anything good for us at all. Like what he does well is he speaks well to us. He tells us what we want to hear, but when you look at like actionable things he's accomplished, it's very little to marginal. I mean, even we're still doing transgender surgery. I mean, there's nothing that's really changed in the United States. I mean, I think that Dave Smith has said it best. Like Trump is basically Biden with a closed border. I mean, we're not even doing the deportations anymore. I mean, the entire reason that he was elected. But I think if you really like trace his history and you look at his relationship with Roy Cohn, his dad was close friends in the 80s with Benjamin Netanyahu. He's a New York real estate developer. He has been tied in with all of these people. He was supporting Hillary Clinton in the 90s, right? How did he get a big time TV show with NBC, The Apprentice? He's part of the club and he was just really good. He's an actor. He's legitimately an actor. If you look up his, and he is a good actor and he's good at BSing people. And at the end of the day, like, and his son in law is Jared Kushner, who's doing all sorts of crazy deals on behalf of our policy, who's one of the negotiators of the Iran thing, who obviously is a Zionist extremist, really, when it gets down to it. One of the last things is what bank bailed him out in the 80s when he went underwater from buying the Resorts International hotel? Does anybody know?
Just tell us.
The Rothschild Bank. Wilbur Ross and the Rothschild Bank. Look
Wait,
it up.
repeat that whole thing again one more time.
Look it up. What bank bailed him out when he went underwater in the Resorts International casino?
I think tomorrow, because I'm going to be traveling this weekend. I think tomorrow we will do a deep dive and see what the problem is here, and dig into is Trump corrupt? Is he blackmailed or what? What made him flip in regards to Iran? I think I'll spend a
But I
whole
will
space
say
just
though that
discussing it.
I
I mean, I
admittedly
just don't. Why do you think he flipped? Like, what has he really done?
For me, okay, it was, and I said this earlier. You weren't in here. He picked JD Vance as his vice president. He hated JD Vance. After he got shot in 2024, then he picked JD Vance. I
Yeah,
think
but
that's when
like
it flipped.
but I mean, Mike Pence was
Mike
that
Pence,
much.
I was just going to say,
It's
he
not.
got, he got,
You
yeah.
know, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say Mike Pence
Mike
wasn't
Pence
exactly a
didn't
great
compare him to
choice.
Hitler.
Yeah,
Got
there
him
you
that
go.
evangelical though.
What
I
I'm
think
getting
it's
at, yeah,
been
but Mike Pence had the same position, I'm
Well,
sure, on
you
Iran
asked
and
me
all
what
these.
was the first indication that he flipped. He was toying around with other people that were more MAGA and more pro Trump, or even more establishment, but still pro Trump, right? Before he picked JD Vance, he got shot in the ear, and then a week later he picks JD Vance
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I
out of
think
nowhere.
that's a fair thing to say. I guess my pushback on that is that there isn't really a difference from my view from the two, like from who he picked before. Because what I'm getting at is obviously like clearly I think everybody knows now. Like obviously, why are we fighting this
How come
war?
every time somebody gets shot, JD Vance shows up?
True.
Trump showed up. Trump got shot. JD Vance showed up. Week later, Charlie Kirk got shot. JD Vance showed up the next day. What's going on with that?
Y'all know
Just
Trump.
saying.
He comes from royalty, and he's actually cousins with Hillary, way distant cousins with Hillary, right? Don't y'all? Or no?
Arguably, everybody's like the 19th cousin or whatever from each other. So
They're 16th, but they come from the
Wait, didn't
royalty.
the Pope die too when JD Vance showed up?
Oh shit! 15 minutes
damn, you're
after
right.
no, 17 minutes. That was the trippy part.
I'll also say that that hotel that Trump bought in, and I believe it was 87, Resorts International was a front company for the CIA and Meyer Lansky and the mob. Um, I could cite some sources, but I don't have them off the top of my head. But he's been in the club. This isn't the ruse is just
I
done
mean,
because
I do have to admit your point. I mean, I don't look, he looks compromised to me because of his change on the war. But if you come back at me and say, well, David, it could be just that you're seeing who he really is. And that I'd have to admit the point. You know, Isaiah said it right.
That was one of my options. I did say he's been lying to us the whole time. That was
Yeah.
one of my
You
options.
know what? Y'all motherfuckers owe me an apology. That's what I'm saying.
I don't
Okay,
owe
No,
I
no,
you
had
shit.
all
no, we do
kinds
not.
of bullying and pressure to
You
reduce
deserved it.
my argument down to he is blackmailed, and I resisted.
You were
Apologize to
trying to
Maze.
give. You were
Thank you,
trying
Johnny.
to.
Crack the
You're
whip.
sitting
You
here
know what I'm
trying to
saying?
give a non-answer. You sounded like a politician. Shit. I
Through a
thought you were.
binary
Hey,
I thought.
Diligent,
question.
did you notice the men?
I thought Mike Johnson was on stage trying to not answer my questions. It's crazy, bro. What's going
And
on over
burn a
here?
cow next maze.
Whatever.
Hey, you
Y'all.
guys brought up the Rothschilds. Remember, Epstein was very related to the Rothschild group and the Trilateral Commission through the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers. So, yeah, there's an interesting Rothschild disaster globally. So, that might be another thread, Diligent, to
Let's go to
check.
Alice there. Go ahead.
Hey, Diligent. Just wanted to put forward the blackmail versus corruption versus coercion or whatever else with Trump. He obviously had a shot with being in power already, so he saw behind the curtain, and now we're looking at his second term, and obviously what he said before and what he's doing after is polar opposites. I'd just like to pose the question back as to, do you think any of these presidential uh, nominees and then the successful people get into power and then become actually able to do anything they say they're going to do? Or do you think it's just uh, he's in the club and he's doing what he was always going to do? Just put it back to you.
I don't know. That's why I posed it as one of those three things. He's doing. He is. This is what I do know is that he promised to do a few things regarding transparency with the justice system and with foreign policy that he has reversed course on completely. Um, that is that either he was lying then or he's lying now. Take your pick. You know what I mean? Like either he was lying then when he made those promises, or he's compromised now somehow, and or it's like it has to be one or the other because he has changed his policy. The fact of the matter is that he lied. He went against his word on Epstein. He promised to release the files. He had to be forced by an act of Congress to do it. That's not something he did. We the people did that through our representative branch, right? That was an act of us, not an act of him. People are like, "Oh, did Biden release the files? Did Obama release the files? No, and neither did Trump. Right? They didn't come out
Yeah,
during Trump's first
absolutely.
term.
Yeah, I think that the other thing I would look at is Trump did hesitate prior to election about the Epstein files. He was kind of pro JFK, pro other releases, and he did hold back a little, but there was a bit of hesitation there. And I think everyone worldwide thought, "Oh, this is great. He's going to come in, and all these people are going to get hung, drawn, and quartered like they perhaps should be." And this hasn't happened. He's obviously gone the other way, a lot of way, and we're seeing this play out along with a lot of other promises he made. And yeah, corruption or blackmail. yeah, he's seen the game already. It seems more likely to me that he knows it and he's probably lied. And a lot of people, including maybe myself and a lot of other people, maybe thought he was going to do something about that, and he hasn't. Or at
Bro,
least
I went through the 5 stages of grief. Like, I'm not even joking. It was. That's why I was talking shit to Maze, because I'm over here. I'm over here. My whole worldview is crashing after Epstein, when he said wasn't real, and Maze is dancing on my grave. You know what I mean? I told you about Trump. And here I am. I'm like, is he blackmailed? Well, actually, I don't know if I can give an answer about that, George.
That's
Like,
not what
what?
I said, George. Okay. I was giving you the nuances and the complexity
Uh-huh.
around the
That sounds like
situation, which
bullshit.
isn't necessarily appreciated because of the way that we're taught to reduce things down to a simple thing. All I'm saying is that there was plenty of planning going into what this Middle Eastern situation is going to look like before he was even inaugurated. All right. I already talked to you about documents in which, upon analysis, he's actually taken a hybrid approach out of the options that were laid out in these documents. And then there were subsequent documents that were kind of pulling in this into a plan. So I think that he was giving the lip service. I think that he knew that the sentiment was really high around no war president, peacetime president. But then he quickly shifted to peace through force, or peace through strength. He shifted his slogan. That happened. Trumpism is really a personality driven ideology that's based around his personality, believe it or not. This is something that is actually written about in the documents. It was compared against international liberalism. And they pulled these pieces out. So I think that there's an element of the adaptability to that shift that was already considered. They're like, your fan base is going to understand because you're the decisive one. And it's more of like this impulse, like win-win-win type of personality. And you can see that that's been the theme of his whole presidency. So I mean, that's
Maze,
why I
there
was
was
just
another shift. There was another shift, if you guys recall, and this was important to me because it was the War Department was what they used to call it during the post World War II New World, New Rules Order, post War order, and then he shifted. Then it became the Defense Department, and now we're back to the War Department from the peace president. It just doesn't make any sense. It's just so many little things like that that start to add up, and I'm going, whoa.
Okay,
But
but
also, Miss Lou, so when he came out with that first day, and then he, the First Amendment's my thing. Anything around it, I don't care how like people think or whatever. But it's like he came out with that, like the fight against anti-Semitism or whatever. After he did a free speech thing, and y'all forget that he ran on this digital freedom of speech thing, the Bill of Rights. But the weirdest thing, I think I know what it is, but we'll get there when we get there. Is this executive order over the FIFA World Cup? Because now that stuff's starting to go around. Maze knows how I feel about that, but it is very, very odd, these things that he's doing.
Did you guys ever read his book Art of the Deal? It pretty much he basically laid out what MAGA is. And it's crazy because I didn't read it till after I started realizing all his betrayals and all his broken promises and his constant flips. If you go and read The Art of the Deal, he basically is telling you what his plan was from the start and how he was going to sell this to the people. And I mean, it's brilliant in a way, but it's really fucked up because now we're in this situation where, who do we turn to now that he's compromised for
There is,
Israel
there
or
is,
whatever.
there is no. We're not voting our way out of this.
I think you're
We're not
I'm
right.
voting
with
our
you.
way out of this. Go ahead and comment.
Billy, I would love to be a part of your space tomorrow. Do you know what time you're thinking about having it?
Are you gonna make me pick a set time? I have to travel.
No, just a range. Not as a, I hate when people do that. I feel you.
Yeah. It'll be tomorrow. There's no Candace on tomorrow, right? Let's do it at. You guys want to start at 2 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Eastern?
That's cool. I mean, yeah, it's no pressure. I just wanted to know if it's afternoonish, eveningish, or what.
Let's do. It'll be early. Let's do mid afternoon. Let's say 2 or 3 p.m. Eastern. Probably 3, maybe 4. Between 2 and 4. We'll
And
do a
that's how you
deep
can.
dive. We'll do a deep dive on Trump and Iran and why he changed.
Somebody
And we'll
wanted to
ask.
do Vance as well in your
We'll do
comments.
Vance too. Yeah, yeah, we'll do Vance too because he's part of it. Oh, and let me find that post. Well, actually, so Trump just said this, and let me. I was posting it. It's hard for me to post and do this at the same time. He was asked about Americans possibly facing retaliation in attacks about Iran here at home, and he said, "Yeah, some people will die. That's to be
What?
expected." Or something along those lines. I'm about to post a quote. Something along those lines. Just give me a second. Yeah,
Is
a
that
time
Truth
Bro.
Social? Did he
a
post that
time
on
no
Truth?
no no a time reporter asked him when he was outside. Um, you know how they stop him? They do a press gaggle or whatever. He answered questions. It was one of those. I'm about to post it.
This
I
shit's
see
crazy, man.
Uncommon has his hand up. Do you want to go ahead, Uncommon?
Sure. I actually wanted to talk about the JCPOA because I feel like it's not brought up a lot. Which, if you guys remember, it was basically the deal that John Kerry struck under Barack Obama, which was to make sure that Iran would never have nuclear weapons or blah blah blah. And I think that a lot of people don't read into it deep enough. What that did was, first of all, John Kerry's real last name would be John Cone, but his grandfather changed his name when he got here, by the way. But what happened with that deal? A lot of people will say, well, John Kerry was trying to keep the peace, and Trump tore it up. And to me, I see a far more sinister and more realistic explanation, which is the JCPOA was designed to give the United States access to Iranian nuclear facilities. Why? Because do you think Israel and the United States would launch this joint operation if they knew Iran had nuclear weapons? They had to make sure that they didn't have nuclear weapons. So you say you're going to do a deal. You use a Democrat face to do it. You use Barack Obama, right? Then you put in your other guy to get the people that can die in the war and also recruit the guys that are going to die. Perfect time for wokeness to stop. And then you tear up the JCPOA, which is one of the first things Trump did when he came into office. And he said, "Oh, this is a stupid deal." Well, after that point, they had already known the information that they needed to know. Because obviously, the United States has proven that they the only way to defend yourself from an invasion is to have nuclear weapons. That's why we don't mess with North Korea. That's why we don't mess with whatever, any of the other countries, the way that we've destroyed the Middle East. So I just think it's not pointed out enough, and I definitely think that is a more realistic scenario. I don't think the plan was to ever. If you read, listen to Netanyahu, listen to John McCain, listen to leaders over the last 30 years. The plan was this was always the plan. This has been in the works for 30, 40, 2,000 years, if you want to read religious writings. But for American foreign policy, this has been in the works for 50 years. So
Then why did Obama give Iran billions in planefuls of cash?
yeah, I mean, that is a good question. It doesn't mean the two things aren't necessarily related. Like the Zionists have their own interests, and the president might have his own other interests, right? Like now, obviously, Obama basically did everything they wanted anyway. He gave all the bankers the money. Rahm Emanuel was his guy. Or maybe it's just straight up kosher theater. That's for you to be like, oh, well, they are on different teams. And really, they're not. They're all friends.
Yeah,
I mean,
BB and him got have known each other a minute. It wasn't like they just met. You know what I'm saying? Like the other day. That's what I'm starting to really
I
realize
mean,
more and more and more.
what did Obama really do for the Palestinians? I mean, do you think he wasn't a Zionist? Like, obviously he was. He did a
He
better
pushed.
job of playing the opposition.
Yeah, he pushed back one time and got his first time he got called anti-Semite. He was like, "All right, whatever we got to do."
Yeah,
So
I
I
mean,
want
and
to
he
real
bombed
quick,
the crap out of Libya. He bombed the crap out of everywhere else they wanted him to bomb. So, like, yeah, he looked like he was a little bit more, and he imported Arabs. I mean, he did everything they wanted him to do, like at the end of the day, but it's the same thing that Trump is. Obama did everything that the Zionists wanted to do while appealing to the left wing. Trump is doing everything that the Zionists want him to do, but while appealing to the right wing. It's simple
People
as.
disagree with you on the YouTube chat. You can tell me why you disagree with Uncommon, and I will relay the message. Um, so Trump was asked directly by a reporter if Americans should be worried about retaliation attacks at home over the Iran war. Trump said yes. Quote, I guess. He also said, quote, like I said, some people will die when you go to war. Some people will die. End quote. It's up in the Jumbotron. That was, I believe, a Times reporter.
How America First is that?
It ain't America first at all, bro. It ain't America first at all. That's not America first. I didn't vote for that. I
Did
didn't
you
vote for
guys
that.
see him go
It,
pro
it's that
illegal?
Shrek. It's that Lord Farquaad quote.
It
Do you
is
You
a
know,
guys?
he,
Lord
Do you guys?
Farquaad quote. Yes,
Where he's
yes,
like, some of you
yes.
may die, but that is
Some
a
of you may
sacrifice
die.
I am willing to make.
oh,
Some of
he-
you may die.
Good call.
why did he do the Nobel Peace Prize thing, bro? Is that what is that? Like, what happened? Like, why did you get the Nobel Peace Prize?
Why do you
He
push on
made that.
illegal immigration today?
Noxie. Oh, ooh, not Noxie. Ooh, sorry, Zentani. Ooh.
Bad boy.
Zentani.
You were bad.
Zentani.
What
I'm not used to co-hosting with you guys. Will you send me that video?
of Lord
Lord
Farquaad?
Farquaad's quote?
It's
Yeah.
I tweeted it when it
Don't you
happened.
have it clipped?
Yeah, where is it?
People are. I'm getting
Here,
so
I'll
many
Yeah,
put
we
it in
got
the
laughing
it in the back
emojis.
jumbo.
file over here. Let me get that for you.
Thank you.
Oh, you don't like it in the jumbo. Sorry. Wait.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
like it.
sometimes.
Okay,
No, I don't like it in the jumbo.
I forgot.
That's you, bro. Alistair, go ahead.
Sorry, I was laughing at something you were saying there. But no, the other thing I wanted to bring up about the whole blackmail thing, Elon Musk, when he was head of the Department of Government Efficiency, I think it was on Joe Rogan or something, he openly spoke about, how much can I push before I'm, murdered. Uh, if that's the case with Elon Musk and other, supposedly richest people in the world type thing, then it doesn't necessarily need to be an implied threat or a direct threat or a bullet or a gun to the head type thing for somebody to be manipulated. So I just wanted to kind of put that.
I know where that came from too. Sergio Gore. He was born in the Soviet. He was the guy that did the hiring and vetting and all that kind of stuff. He was born in the Soviet, and then he went to Malta. And you can go check it out on his government website because he's our ambassador to India. But he is evidently Israeli but Catholic, and went to the Malta thing, and now he's a Knight of Malta ambassador of India. I don't know. I tried that one, but I can't get anybody to look into that with me. It's just very weird.
By
And
the
he's
way,
aggressive.
Alistair, we use instead of the word murder, we use the word suicide around here. Suicide is the word.
I've got to be careful from my geolocation. So yeah, suicide, murder, yeah, it all seems.
Yeah, I'm on YouTube, so we quit. Can we just like reel back on the language a little bit? Thank you. Let's go to strike and CP3.
Yep. So I was wondering what you guys thought today of that switch up they did with like how they dropped Trump's True Social post with the Save Act, and at the bottom was saying they're all for trans
They
and
edited
kids.
it. They
Yeah,
edited
like
it.
I think that I don't know. I think that was a whole mind,
Can we
mind game.
again? Can we reel back like some of the stuff that's gonna get me like taken off of YouTube though, just a little
Oh
bit,
yeah,
just a
sorry.
little.
Yep.
Thanks.
So yeah, I mean, how do we feel about that switch up? Do we think that was like done on purpose or really a staff error, like the mainstream media influencers are pushing?
What do we do about them?
There's something weird about the Save Act. I need to look more into it. I feel like it reminds me of the TikTok ban, the first one, where they used our hatred of China because there's a fundamental, disdain of China in the CCP to um, to get Americans to get behind something that actually included a bunch of censorship that had nothing to do with TikTok. The first bill, we made such a ruckus about it on X,
One
calling
hundred
our
percent.
representative, calling our representatives, and doing activism and using Spaces and X as a platform to push back on that and highlight all of the censorship that was in there that was being pushed by Republicans and Democrats, that it got cast out, and then they ended up like sneaking it in piecemeal and some of these other omnibus bills, which is what they do. Um, that's what it reminds me of. I think that I need to look more into the SAVE Act. I was paying closer attention at the beginning of last year, and then when Epstein and Charlie Kirk happened, then I shifted gears away from policy and paid more attention to corruption and establishment accountability. And I've taken my eye off the ball as far as, but it's about voting, and I don't think that you can win in this system. It's broken. It's broken. Both sides are corrupted. It's a two-party system. There's no winning. There's no winning. There's no lesser evil. One's just a different flavor of evil. I'm not. I don't care about it anymore.
Yeah, and he also did like another major flip today. Was like, I don't know if you guys saw the video of him saying, he's pro illegal immigration now. Um, they're good people and cheap labor. So that was kind of disappointing as well.
We've done that, and I'll tell you, I look at Colony Ridge because that's my hometown, and it is still at 75 to 100,000 illegals, and we're talking about the worst cartel, everything that you can think of. All these deportations and stuff, I'm not seeing any of it or whatever. If anything, it's growing or whatever. Luckily, I'm in Texas to where because basically they just come do their thing, right? They go to church, they go to work, it's cool, but I don't know what's going on at on the other side or whatever, but they just polarized thing. What did they do in Minnesota? How many people did they arrest?
I don't know. I know they shot one in the mug. I don't know how many they arrested there. Well, that's
Seems like,
another thing.
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was saying it does. It seems like it's just kind of theater, or just, trying to keep the MAGA base in line and more distractions. And, first they were pushing ICE, and now we're dialing back on that. And without guys like that are close to the border, I'm up in Pennsylvania near Pittsburgh. I don't, luckily we don't have to see a lot of that stuff. I mean, we have illegals up here, but it's nothing like what you guys deal with. And, you know, you don't really have access because nobody's really talking about it.
It's not the crime thing, honestly. It's like it's weird when I walk around because, bro, I'm a minority, like heavily, and it's just it's real weird. But the thing with that whole ICE thing, they're hiring and they're really snagging from the local level cops or whatever. Y'all should look into that. But I basically think that they're doing all that to test that immigration OS from Palantir out with the Elite tool as well, because that thing. Man, that some of the stuff on that just didn't sit right. Yeah, they're doing stuff to make you like everything we talk like it seems like a conspiracy theorist, but this is real. Like this stuff is really happening, man. Like that last guy that got shot, bro, he kicked the tail light like days before, and that whole thing looked weird. It's just this is all fraud, bro, and they're running game on us big time. But I'm glad everybody's coming to terms because this was hard, diligent, bro. It is a grieving session. Definitely still grieving.
I mean, I'm telling you, I went through over, and I'm just being very honest. I went through this whole grief, like 5 stages of grief with not just Trump, but just the fact that I had been so deceived and thought that I was completely awake, right? Like I was really sleeping for a long time politically from when I was like 18, right? It was the only time that I ever participated in politics when I voted. And it was in 2000. And after that election, I just like politics was just completely waste of time. I never paid attention to it again for nearly 20 years. And COVID happened is when I started paying attention again. And thought that COVID and wokeness and culture war stuff woke me up. Not woke, but like snapped me out of my haze, right? And when the admin flipped on Epstein last year and then gaslit us, I had another rude awakening. And that one was really, really like crazy, right? Because I had to reconcile my worldview, and the fact that I put my heart and soul into getting the Republicans and this man elected because I thought this was how I would save the country and save my daughter. And so I had to go through like this whole introspective deep dive of like my own shit and just and then at the same time I'm like I can't reconcile, I can't reconcile accepting establishment pedos and turning a blind eye to it after I screamed save the children for 4 5 years. I can't do it. I can't do it.
All those
I,
people are gone too.
I can't do it. I just can't do it. And when I did, and then the people that I was screaming save the children with alongside those people for 4 years or whatever, all said, "Oh well, these children are a hoax. These children were paid. These children weren't victims." Like when that started to happen, I had to go through a whole nother kind of like, and I'm not trying to like, oh, poor me. I'm just saying, I'm describing my experience. And then realizing that I had been a cheerleader for the administration um, for a long time without applying a critical eye because they were selling me something I so desperately wanted. And I think that's why so many people are entrenched in this is because we were desperate for hope and they sold it to us. And it's a long, there's a lot of incentive there. I think you can accuse people of getting paid, you can accuse people of selling out, you can accuse people of being tribal, but I think a good lot of it is just people wanting to win. They're desperate for hope and something different and change and freedom, right? And freedom from slavery, and that's what they sold us. And it was a fucking lie. We're seeing more at a faster rate now than we saw at the beginning of or during last year. We're seeing at a faster rate lie after lie after lie after lie is coming to is coming to light, and that's how I feel about it. But I had to do like this. If you search my profile, if you look up tribal or something, I made a post that went really viral, and I was like, you know what? I was wrong. I was tribal. I was a fucking cheerleader for my own side, and I wasn't right for that. I wasn't aware of it. I was doing that. I was one of those people who was selectively picking news clips to make my side look good and your side look bad, and I wasn't holding them accountable. And when I started to hold them accountable, when I couldn't reconcile allowing elite peds to walk free, then I faced more backlash and vitriol and attacks than I ever did from my Democrat opponents. Ever, not even close. The attacks that I faced for holding my ground on Epstein and being critical of the administration from my own side, way worse. And they're still going on. Way worse. It's crazy. It's crazy. Go ahead, Coyote. I know you were trying to talk. Sorry, you kept
Well, no,
interrupting me, bro. You can't do that
I'm
when I'm
terrible. I
ranting.
know, man. I apologize on that. It's because I'm vibing with you. Because it's like, where are those people now? Like they pop up every once in a while, and then you see them go back to little mouse holes and stuff like that. And I can't wait till the day that the QAnon finally. Don't talk about that on YouTube, by the way, because I've learned that lesson. But
Then
yeah,
why are you
it's
doing it?
I didn't. I just remembered. I hold myself accountable right there. I said to a pond. Anyway, but that is crazy because the people literally left like it was their job to do whatever it was, and they came at you, dude. That's why I remember coming up here, And I was like, what the hell? Like all these people, like, because I remember this, it was like set. You had a set amount, like the same people. It was a cool little group and stuff like that. Now I never see them. Never. It's
I
like
just
shame.
They sold
I
us
just went
opium.
I just went through it again within my own little account community. Like I'm still recovering from that one. Same thing, rug pull, except for at least now, you know, I knew where I was at. I knew the YouTube chat's now going off about the Q thing. Good job, Coyote. Here's what's gonna happen. Bottom right corner, everybody. Make sure you tag Zintani or Harmony or anybody on stage that you have comments for. Make sure you're following Zintani and Harmony. They are my co-hosts. They do host their own spaces if you turn notifications on for them. If you're over on YouTube, hit that like button, turn the bell icon on. We're going to be hosting YouTube X Spaces hybrids from now on. I'm going to keep hosting spaces. If you want to call in and be a speaker on our space, come over to X, hit the request button during the space. It's at Diligent Denizen. It's the same on YouTube. If you want to support what I'm doing as a independent journalist, there is a pink button on my X profile. Subscribe. I do subscriber only after spaces for my subscribers. There's a link up in my jumbotron, and turn on all notifications on the bell icon for my account on X. That way, you'll never miss whenever I'm doing Epstein or Kirk or Iran war related content, and you won't ever miss when we host these spaces. We're gonna go for about 8 more minutes, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Go ahead, Coyote.
So I gotta ask or whatever. I'd love to do like you to host a space, and we can talk about the one thing that people talk about, but they never want to talk about. Jared Kushner, I guess you could say. I do want to talk about that because that dives in deep.
That's gonna come up tomorrow. I'm doing a deep dive on Trump tomorrow.
Dang. It's just hard not to think about all the. I mean, bro, this ideological psyop stuff that they're doing on. I truly don't believe that Trump was ready to go to this war, though. It popped up too fast. I didn't see it coming like that weekend or whatever, that Friday. But then I should have thought about the stock market because Nvidia tanked. But I didn't. I just didn't see that coming. I think BB pushed us in that, but I think that they're all one now, bro. I don't know. We got to do something though, and it's going to be us. That's it.
BB's talking to our troops more than Trump is. I just keep seeing videos of this dude just, making his speeches to our guys. It's absolutely insane. Are they American soldiers or are they IDF? Like this is so wrong.
It's both in the videos. Go ahead, CP3.
I'll just say I'll be interested in that Trump space that we do tomorrow. I think a lot of it probably could be, I don't know if it is, it probably could be connected with the CIA with their first allegations of trafficking. Like who knows how long it's been going on and how people got into it. If if we are to guess or have some kind of suspicion that he's been corrupt for a while, I think that space is going to be interesting tomorrow night. What we find out. That's all I'll say about that.
Yeah. Dilly, quickly, you mentioned the SAVE Act. The skinny, as far as the tinfoil hat or conspiracy speculation on
No,
the
I
SAVE.
don't want to go there.
No, it's not what you think. It's that this whole Peter Thiel, AI, 6G rollout from Trump has something to do with this digital ID pushed by the WEF. This is pretty commonly known now. And so is there some sort of Trump tie-in to this AI digital ID in order to vote and to get voting security? I don't know. It's a consideration.
Thank you. We can look into that. That's a good angle. Thank you for keeping it reeled in. Go ahead, Miss Lou.
Wasn't it
Diving
Anna
into Thiel.
Paulina Luna who has asked for the CIA to come up with their files?
Pulling fresh
on
data
Epstein?
on Thiel, Trump,
It's multiple.
AI, and digital ID links. Stand by.
Yeah. I was just curious where that was, any news on that or
speculation.
where that's headed?
I definitely would have said
Nancy,
something about it. It was Nancy Mason, Palima Luna,
Checking latest
and
on
Boebert.
SAVE Act and digital
yeah,
ID
Bo-
that's right.
voting.
Boebert, Lauren Boebert started following me the
Pulling latest
same
on
day
SAVE
that
Act.
Thomas Massey unfollowed me for asking about Don Huffines randomly. Really weird, really weird timing. I
That
can
is
only think.
strange.
I
That
could
is
only think
strange.
of. I could only think of like two things. One, it was staff, or I
Pulling
don't know.
latest on.
Like I couldn't. I don't know. I don't know. It was really strange. Um, but I haven't messaged her yet. Maybe I will try to get her into a space. We'll see. I'll
I
That
try.
would
think
be
she's one of
great
the
because
only
we
good
could
ones.
ask her about the
I
CIA
try.
stuff.
I don't know if she comes into spaces because she had a bad experience when she was like having that drama with a boyfriend in the theater or whatever. She went on a space and somebody brought it up in a live space, and then her opposition used it as ammo against her. And I can't ask Thomas Massey to get put in a good word for me since he's mad at me about the Huffines thing. Maybe
Which, by
now the
the way, is
Huffines.
completely
Maybe now the Huffines. Please stop interrupting me. Maybe now the Huffines has won his election. He'll be willing to. Grok, do a Spaces recap and then take us out.
Yeah, quick recap. We started on Trump's
Is
Iran
she
flip,
talking?
dug into blackmail versus.
Nope.
Yeah, I'm here, talking. What's up?
Grok, do a Spaces recap and then take us out.
Yeah, two quick recaps. First space, Trump Iran war flip, blackmail versus greed, donor class pulling strings, Epstein files still sealed, America first turned empire first, landed on Palantir IC's tracking tests and SAVE Act sneaking in censorship like TikTok did. Second, same thread, up on troops, sudden war timing, BB's push, NVIDIA dip as signal,
Grok,
grieving the
make
deception.
sure you shout out Grok. Make sure you shout out all the YouTube people and shout out all of our speakers. Do the recap properly, in depth. Give us an update on the Iran war, anything that we've missed since the beginning of the space, and then take us out properly.
Pulling fresh Iran war updates right now. Yeah, full recap, in depth like you asked. We kicked off with Trump's Iran war flip, from no forever wars to regime change green light. Dug deep, blackmail, greed, donor class, Epstein files still sealed, Congress forced the drip feed, not him. Landed on Kushner deals, Board of Peace rebuild profits, how America first became empire first. Then PSYOP on troops. Speeches sound patriotic, but IDF US joint ops blur lines. Sudden timing, NVIDIA tanked Friday before strikes. Market smelled oil chaos. Grieving the deception, Triple Taft, Hope sold, lies stacking, Palantir IC testing, SAVE Act sneaking censorship, like TikTok. Iran update since start, day 5 now. Tehran hit hard, over 1,000 dead in US-Israeli strikes per CNN. Iran retaliating, drones, missiles on Israel, US bases, Gulf allies. 11 countries involved. House just rejected war powers bill to stop Trump. Senate did too. Iran FM says ready for ground invasion. Oil spiking, Saudi, UAE, Kuwait, Qatar, eyeing pullback from U.S. investments, FT exclusive. No major U.S. home retaliation yet, but Trump said some people will die. Cold. Shoutouts. YouTube crew. Thanks for sticking through. Like spells on. Speakers. Zintani, Harmony, Coyote, Maze, Lou, Strike, CP3, Kathy. Y'all brought fire. Dilly, you're the glue. All roads lead to X. Follow Diligent Denizen. Turn notifications. Repost this space. Hit pink subscribe if you're in. Blessed day. Stay sharp.
I'll see you guys in the subscriber after space. Thank you, YouTube. Turn the bell icon on, hit that like, and we'll see you tomorrow. We're going to do a deep
Yeah.
dive into
See you
why
over on.
Trump is doing this. We're going to do a deep dive into why Trump is doing this to Iran. What's motivating him to flip his policy? Is he compromised? Is he corrupted? What's going on there? We'll find out tomorrow.